There are people like me who attempt all the questions. Now these are different approaches, but always make sure that in terms of attempt, you attempt all the questions wherein you are able to eliminate at least one of the options. That is the only thing that you have to remember. You have exceeded your first round time by close to 10 to 15 minutes. Therefore, you won't be having a third round. So therefore, what do I do? In all the questions where I'm able to eliminate one option, I will attempt that question in the second round only, and I will never keep any question for the third round. Now, whenever you do the paper, make sure that you lean a bit. Don't be sitting like this. You lean a bit to the paper and make sure you underline and circle everything. All of you know, this won't be a very conventional test discussion as we usually do. We usually take all the logical questions. Rather, today I'll be lively solving all the 100 questions so that you will understand what are the different ways you need to think, what are the different questions that you need to keep for the second or the third round, and what are the questions that you can attempt on the first round. There is no centralized system of attending the questions. Let's say, for example, there are some people who only attempt like 70 questions. There are some people who attempt 85 questions. There are people like me who attempt all the questions. Now, these are different approaches, but always make sure that, this is a final thing, always make sure that in terms of attempt, you attempt all the questions wherein you are able to eliminate at least one of the option. That is the only thing that you have to remember. Okay? So the golden rule is attempt all the questions where you are able to eliminate one of the options. Now regarding the time management strategy, let me tell you, there are also multiple methods that you have to do. Usually, in my previous attempt, I used to solve the first round in 30 minutes. Okay. I used to solve the questions in around 30 minutes. Now, that is not something I usually suggest to the people. So the method that I am going to do today is in a method that in 1 hour, I'll be completing my first round. So 1 hour for first round. And in the first half an hour, I'll be trying to complete almost close to 1 to 50 questions. The next half an hour, I'll be completing from 50 to 100. In close to the next 25 minutes, I should be completing from 1 to 50 of the second round. The next 25 minutes, I should probably be completing from 50 to 100. And in the last 10 minutes, I'll be completing my third round. So this is one thing that I will be following here, and also make sure that you have a proper time management of your own. Okay, you don't have to just follow whatever I'm saying here, but you need to have a proper time management strategy of your own. And also do make sure that you also have certain contingency plans. It's not like whatever happens in the question paper, if the paper is very lengthy, you don't change the plan. ऐसे नहीं करना है. You need to change the plan according to the lengthiness of the paper. Let's say, for example, this paper was very lengthy. Okay. This paper was very lengthy. Usually in the UPSC paper, close to 20 to 25 questions will be single statement questions, ABCD model questions. But in this paper, close to like 16 to 17 or 14. I don't know the exact number, but for me, it's probably between maybe 13 to 18 or something. So that's why the paper was very lengthy, and also most of the questions were very analytical that required a deep thinking process. So always what I usually do is, let's say for example, my first round, I should be completing in 1 hour, right? Now what if it exceeds 10 minutes or 15 minutes more? Now what happens? I'll make a call that, Sreejay, you have exceeded your first round time by close to 10 to 15 minutes. Therefore, you won't be having a third round. So therefore, what do I do? In all the questions where I'm able to eliminate one option, I will attempt that question in the second round only, and I will never keep any question for the third round, because I know that since I have exceeded my time limit in the first round, I don't have a third round, so therefore I won't be keeping to the same. So this is something that you have to finalize. And the other one is, what are the type of questions that you will do, that you will leave for the second round? This is also one thing you need to finalize. Now, usually what I do is, all the very big paragraph questions, let's say for example, it's regarding a Köppen classification. I don't do it for the first round, because in the first round, I mostly think on a factual basis. So therefore, I don't do that. If the question has maybe 6 statements or maybe 7 statements, I don't do that. If the statement-based question is regarding geography, or is it regarding science and technology, which are my weaker areas, especially the climatology, I don't know anything about climatology. So therefore, I will leave that to the second round. So if it's a particular area that you're completely weak in, you can leave it for the second round. If it's a very big paragraph based question, you can leave it for the second round. If it has more than 6 statements or maybe 5 statements or maybe 7 statements, you can leave it for the second round. And all the questions which you don't have a proper clarity as well, what do you need to do? You need to leave it for the second round. Okay? So in our test series, I told all of you that you should be attempting close to 15 to 20 FLTs, right? Now, why do we do so many FLTs? It's basically not to get additional content. It's basically to understand how should I attempt the paper in UPSC. So in every FLT that you do, you try different approaches, you change your time management approaches, you change your round-based approaches, you start increasing the attempt, you start reducing the attempt, and finally by the close to the 10th FLT, you make sure that you have the best plan with you. Now, the time is 11:08. Okay, so my first round, I should be able to complete in 12:08, and also in between that, first half an hour from 11 to 11:38, I should be completing 1 to 50 on that. Now, whenever you do the paper, make sure that you lean a bit. Okay, don't be sitting like this. You lean a bit to the paper and make sure you underline and circle everything, right? Now, you should be underlining all the things. What are the 3 things that you should be circling? The first one is the facts. Let's say, for example, president, governor, regarding any species, regarding any particular year. That's something that you need to circle. Then they are the general and the extreme words, mainly, primarily, significantly, and all the other thing. And the third thing is what you have to do, whether it's correct or incorrect. And after you have made the decision, make sure that you cut the options as well. If you're into 2 options, if you're into 3 options, what do you need to do? You need to circle the options, you need to circle the question and keep it for the second round. Okay? Now, let's start the paper. Now, there are certain people who actually go in a manner that, let's say for example, if history is the first thing that they get in a different set, they will completely skip history and go to the next part. Now, should you do that? Should you do that? Now, I usually don't prefer that. Let's say, for example, if let's say polity is your best portion and you directly go to polity, and let's say you are not getting directly any answers. Let's say in your first round, you are not able to attempt too much questions in polity. Then the whole confidence you will lose. Okay, so usually that's something that I usually try to avoid. I usually go from 1 to 100 because I know that if the paper is lengthy, if the paper is very difficult, then it's difficult for each and everyone. So therefore, always have that in your mind. Okay? Okay, now it's 11:10. Let's start the same. Okay, I always underline and circle. Always read the same when you do the paper as well. Okay. So with reference to legislative process in the Parliament of India, consider the following bill. Now, do I have a clarity regarding bill? Yes. So therefore, I will be reading the same. The bill contains exclusively relating to coalition of any tax. Any is an extreme word. The bill has been endorsed with the certificate of Speaker of the House of the People. The bill was introduced in the Lok Sabha on the recommendation of the President. To conclude definitively, definitively is an extreme word, that a bill is a money bill within the framing of Article 1. Which of one of the statements are sufficient? Now, what does sufficient mean? Sufficient means that, okay, fine, that's enough. So therefore here, the bill introduced in the Lok Sabha on the recommendation of the President doesn't sufficiently get me that money bill. So therefore, 3 I can eliminate. 2 and 1 pay total confusion hai. So therefore, I will eliminate 3. I will underline these options. I will underline the question and I will keep it for the second round. Consider the following grounds on the disqualification of an MP. Do I know about the disqualification of the MP? Yes. Holding of an office of profit, being of unsound mind, voluntarily acquiring the citizen of a foreign state, being an undissolved insolvent. Select the correct answer using the code given below. Exactly 3 of the above are mentioned in 1 or 2. I don't know. What does the word exactly mean? Exactly means only or precisely. Let's say, for example, in a class there are 40 students and 4 students scored 30 marks. And the teacher is saying that exactly 3 students in this class scored 30 marks. Is it correct? No, because 4 students scored 30 marks, right? So exactly means only or precisely. Okay? I don't know this. The power to decide on the speaker solely rests with the presiding officer. No, this is incorrect because it's the speaker only in case of anti-defection law. So therefore 2 is incorrect. If 2 is incorrect, then this will not be the answer. Is correct. This one I don't know. I'll keep it for the second round. Now regarding the third thing. In which of the following cases shall a person be considered ordinarily resident in an electoral roll? I don't know about this. I'm very weak, so I'll keep it for the second round. Consider the following competence of principles of natural justice. Rule against bias, definitely it will be there. Right to a fair hearing, definitely it will be there. Requirement of a recent decision. I'm not sure regarding the same. How many of the statements given above are included? Are included. Matlab, mainly nahi hai, primarily nahi hai, significantly nahi hai, are included. Or it may be included, are included. R is a bit extreme, but not too extreme. So therefore here 2 is correct. So therefore none and only one won't be there. Okay, I'll keep it for the second round. Consider the following languages. How many of the languages are mentioned in the backside of language of Indian rupee? Backside of Indian rupee, I know that Hindi is not there. All 5 won't come. Okay, I don't know. I'll keep it for the next round. In the constitutional framework, the president acts as the repository of executive power often guided by specialized bodies. Consider the following, where the advices' opinions are rendered. How many of the above are the advices binding? So binding matlab wo binding hona chahiye. The opinion of the Supreme Court on the reference made by dispute arising of pre-constitutional treaty, I don't know. Opinion of the Election Commission on the question of disqualification of member of parliament is this, I know. Advice of the Council of Ministers regarding granting pardons, okay fine. This is also something I know. So therefore 2 and 3 will be there. So therefore only 1 and none will not be there. I'll move for the second round. With reference to specially petition, I am not completely sure about the same. I don't know 100%. I will leave it for second round. Which of the following is under negative duty? Negative duty. I'm not completely sure. I'll keep it for the next round. To conclude that a body is statutory body, which of the following are sufficient? Statutory body. Its expenses are automatically charged on the consolidated fund? No, this is mostly for the constitutional bodies. 1 won't be there. Its powers are decided from the specific act of parliament? Yes, statutory body means specific act of parliament. 2 will be there. It requires a constitutional amendment under article. Now always remember that how do you counter polity-based questions? Polity-based questions you mostly counter by using examples, right? So here you know that, let's say for example, RBI is a statutory body, or let's say National Human Rights Commission. They do not require constitutional amendment. They are not automatically charged on the consolidated fund of India, right? So here 1 is incorrect, 3 is incorrect. So therefore I know that 1 only is correct. Now, will I mark in the OMR, Abhi? No, I won't be marking the OMR. I'll mark the OMR in the second round only. To conclude that the doctrine of essentiality, do I know completely? No. The right to publicity, popularly known as personality rights, in most basic sense can be traced to which of the following? Publicity rights. Right to publicity, 26 nahi aayega, ye nahi aayega. Article 19 or 21. Usually everything comes under Article 21. I don't have complete clarity. Mostly in 21 will be. Neither House of Parliament is in session, immediate approval, ordinance is necessary. Definitely prior Parliament of approval is not necessary. So therefore all 3 won't be there. Neither House in session, immediate action. Immediate action will be there. This one I am not sure. None of the above will not be there. Okay. Now with respect to promotion and gaming, do I have a complete idea? No. I will skip it for the second round. Consider the following schedule and fifth schedule. Okay, this is something that I know. Only go for that topic which you're very comfortable, and don't go and read all the questions out there. In the second round, we'll be mostly solving the logical and everything. So keep all the questions which you don't have complete clarity for the second round. In exactly 2 of the states, in exactly means in only 2 of the states from the list, the president is the constitution authority. So schedule area means schedule 5. So here Assam schedule 6, Meghalaya schedule 6, Tripura, Mizoram. Chhattisgarh and Himachal, does it come under schedule 5? I don't know. I'm not sure. In exactly 4 states from the list, governor is the authority to autonomous district councils. So autonomous district comes under schedule 6. So that I know that Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. So second statement will be correct here. So the answer will either be 2 only or both 1 and 2. Neither and 1 only won't be there. So circle this one, circle these 2 and keep it for the second round. Now 15th page. To impose president rule in the following, what of the following are necessary? Failure of constitutional machinery will definitely be there. Recommendation of the governor. Is it necessary for the recommendation of the governor? I'm not sure. President's actors must be based on relevant material. I'm not sure. 1 will be there. So since 1 will be there, rest I'm not sure. Regarding the 6-month rule within the Indian constitutional framework, consider the maximum permitted interval between 2 sessions. Is it 6 months? Yes, it's 6 months. The non-member must secure a seat in the house. Yes, minister, this is also correct. A by-election to fill the vacancy of vice president. President के लिए 6 months है, लेकिन vice president के लिए I'm not sure. A nominated person is qualified is the pocket. Okay, this I know. So here 1, 3, 1, 2, 4 will be there. So A won't be the answer. A won't be the answer. 3 I don't know. So I'll keep it for the second round. Consider the following statement. Cold fronts, geography questions, I usually keep it for the second round. Analytical ones. These are basically analytical ones. I'll keep it for the second round. Ocean ridges. Okay, fine. I know about C4 spreading theory. The mid-ocean ridges are characterized by youngest rocks of the ocean while the rocks increase in the age of move on. Okay, fine. This is characterized by youngest rocks. When the lava comes, okay, fine. This is correct. Now, because the mid-oceanic ridges are characterized by youngest rocks of the ocean floor while the rocks increases. Okay, fine. Because now why are they called as youngest rocks? Or why are they youngest rocks? Why are they youngest rocks? Because the new oceanic crust is continuously being created at the ridge due to upsealing of magma. Okay, fine. So this basically explains the same. So when you add the word because, it directly explains the same. So therefore here, how many of the following is correct? Now you have a definite definition. Now you can take statement A as the answer. During summer solstice, UPSC's favorite area, June 21st, UPSC have repeated it 3 times. The sun never sets at the article, which of the following is true? Never sets. Never is a bit extreme, but we know that summer solstice it never sets. So therefore, even if the extreme word is there, 1 is correct. Sun is directly overhead at the Tropic of Cancer. Are you able to have a relation between summer solstice and Tropic of Cancer? Tropic of Capricorn? No, it's basically Tropic of Cancer, right? So therefore here 2 won't be there. So if 2 is incorrect, then 1 only you will get the answer. Here for B, always make sure that even though you get the answer, you need to make sure that's 100% perfect. So here I got the answer, but what do you need to do? Always read the statement, third statement, and make sure that it's incorrect as well. Okay. Select the correct answer. The day length increases as one moves from the equator to South Pole. No, it's not the South Pole. It's basically the North Pole, right? So therefore here it will be North Pole. So therefore 1 only is the answer. Good. Always tick when you got the answer as well. Okay. Now moving on to 21st one. What are the benefits of promoting the use of happy seeders along with super soul? So here, whenever such type of statement comes, what is the first line of thought? What are the words introduced in the heading? Can you see the word mainly here? Can you see the word primarily here? If it was significant benefit, it was primarily benefit. If it was mainly benefit, then maybe one of the answer can be incorrect. But here, what are the benefits? So therefore, you can use your 1% logic here, right? So whenever no extreme words are there in the heading, go for your 1% logic. So what are the benefits of promoting the use of happy seeders? Maintaining soil moisture, okay, fine, maybe. Reducing carbon footprint, maybe. Reduced level of labor, obviously when machines are there, 4 will be there. Controlling air pollution, definitely happy seeders, it's basically straw management, right? So the straw is not burnt. So air pollution and carbon footprint is basically complementary. So 2 and 4 will be there complementary. Since it's not burnt, it will help to maintain the soil moisture as well. So 1, 2 and 3 are complementary. Reduced level of labor, obviously it's a machine. So therefore 1, 3, 4 will be the answer. Correct answer. 1% logic you can use. So therefore D will be the answer. If ragi, jowar and bajra become the major stable crop in India, then what will happen? If they become, so they are basically replacing rice and wheat. Indian agriculture will be relatively free. It's not saying that completely free or something. Relatively means, okay, it's more of a general word because millets does not require too much water, right? So basically, okay, fine, relatively free ho sakta hai. Okay, Indians will be consuming more starch and calories. Okay, I am not sure. The level of carbon footprint from the agriculture will be reduced. Will be matlab, we can use a 1% logic here. If it was significantly reduced or primarily or mainly reduced, then maybe a point of confusion would have been there. Will be reduced. Okay, fine, it will be reduced. At least 1% it will be reduced, right? So 3 will be there in the answer because rice releases a lot of methane. Rice nahi hai. So therefore, it will be reduced. So 1 and 2 will not be the answer. So 1 will definitely be there. So 2, I am not sure. Okay, I'll keep it for the second round. A geologist traveler follows from Salar de Uyuni to Atacama Desert. Atacama Desert, I know that it's in Chile. And filer is Salar de Hombre Muerto. I'm not sure. So how many of the countries in the specific order? So second will be Chile because Atacama Desert, I know that it's in Chile. So Chile, Bolivia, Salar de Uyuni, I'm not sure. So B and C, I'm confused. Keep it for second round. Which one of the following pairs of cities sunrise at nearly the same time? Sunrise at the same time means latitudinally it will be the same. So Delhi is here, Bangalore is here. Okay, it was a PYQ. So therefore here, Delhi and Bangalore you can take. Perth and Sydney, I'm not sure. Urukmi, I know it's on the left-hand side. Beijing is on the eastern side. Washington is on the eastern side. Los Angeles is on the western side. Los Angeles is basically near California. Okay, D only. Climatology question, I don't know. Consider the following peaks. How many of the above are the highest points? Anamudi, I know, Western Ghats. Gurishikar, I know, Aravalli. Kanchenjunga, Himalayas. It can be Mount Everest, K2. Dhupgar, I'm not sure. So then, okay, I'll keep it for second round. Triveni Sangam is defined as, okay, fine. Triveni Sangam, I'll keep it for second round, I'm not sure. A person travels from Rann of Kutch to Arunachal. So that means that Rann of Kutch is in Gujarat here and it's flowing. He's moving upwards. So decrease in the duration of sunlight during summer? No. In the northern hemisphere, when you move towards the poles, the daylight increases. So therefore, Rann of Kutch is here. Arunachal Pradesh is here. So therefore, he's moving upwards. One will not be the answer. Sunrise would become early. Okay, because Arunachal Pradesh sunrise is close to at 4 a.m. So whenever we move on the eastern side, sunrise will be closer. 2 will be there. Transition from low rainfall, Rann of Kutch is low rainfall. High tropical is there in, okay, so 3 will be there. So the answer will be 2 and 3 or 1, 2, 3. Okay, this will be there. Okay, so 2 and 3 is the answer. In India, which among the following crops mostly depend upon? So when the word mostly comes, 1, 2, 3, 4 will not be the answer. Southwest monsoon. So our 1% logic will not apply here. We'll have to differentiate between rabi and paddy crops. So southwestern monsoon means they are mostly kharif crops. Paddy is kharif, wheat is rabi, jute is kharif, mustard bhi nahi aayega. Mustard, I'm not sure. So 1 and 3 will definitely be there. 1 and 3, 2 will not be there. Okay, directly you got B as the answer. How many of the states border more than 3 states? I don't know. Database questions also, you don't need to do it in the first round, okay? Because it involves a lot of deeper thinking. So therefore, keep it for the second round. That's actually better. Okay. How many of the above India currently has a trade surplus as of March 2026? So our 1% logic or kuch bhi nahi aayega either. Currently it should have. So USA, we know that it's there. So if 1 is there, then 2 and 4 will not be there. Switzerland, we import a lot of gold from there. So Switzerland is not there. European Union, abhi trade deal hua hai. I'm not sure. UAE also, I'm not sure. Okay. Which one of the following deficit financing it is most likely lead to? Now, if you're weak in economics, then you don't need to attempt this question in the first instance, okay? Keep it for the second round because this is also a form of analytical question, right? So, if it uses deficit finance means the RBI is printing currency and it's using to the government. So, therefore, inflation will be there, increasing money supply. That's basically the purpose of the same, higher inflation, potentially higher inflation. So, there's a possibility, at least 1% it will be there. But since the word most likely is used, you cannot apply your 1% logic here. It needs to be a fact. But whenever we print currency, we know that in Zimbabwe and all the countries, inflation will be there. So 2 will be there. So if 2 is there, then 3 you can eliminate. Reduction in the total public debt? No. Deficit financing itself means we are borrowing from RBI or we are borrowing from the market, right? So most likely it will never lead to reduction. So 3 you can eliminate here. Crowding out effect, yes, it will reduce the private sector crowding out because the government is basically borrowing more. So 2 and 4 will definitely be there. So there is only one option with 2 and 4. So B will be there. Appreciation of the domestic currency, no. When we are taking loans, the domestic currency will basically depreciate. So therefore, 2 and 4 is the answer. Co-lending framework, I'm not sure. Leave karo. A person sees a sharp rise in the petroleum prices within a span of 1 year. What could be the possible reason? So here, the word mainly is not there, primarily is not there. Possible means we can use our 1% logic here. Increase in trade competition between countries. Whenever you must understand some kind of competition is there, always the price will reduce, right? So more number of competition, more number of price reductions. So competition between countries, exporting countries, competition will always reduce prices. So one won't be there logically. Depreciation of Indian rupee against the dollar, yes, Abhi we are facing. Decrease in the global crude oil production by major producers, that is also happening, Abhi. Iran has basically attacked Saudi Arabia and everything. Increase in the sex and central taxes, that also will apply. So how many of the above are correct? So 2, 3, 4 will be there. 1, I'm not sure. I'll keep it for the second round, but फिर भी only 1 and only 2 नहीं आएगा. 36 पे automatic stabilizers, do I know the same? No, I will leave it for the second round. High disposable income, it's something very analytical. I'll keep it for the second round. Securities Code of India, do I know? Primary objective, do I know? Have I read about it? No. I'll keep it for the second round. Exactly 3 states mentioned has 1 nuclear power plant. Exactly 3 states means only 3 states. Maharashtra has Tarapur, Gujarat pe hai, Kudamkulam, Narora. So 1 is incorrect. Golden Quadrilateral passes through exactly 3. Golden Quadrilateral is basically Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata. So therefore, Delhi to Uttar Pradesh, Delhi se Uttar Pradesh जाना है, Mumbai जाने के लिए. Okay, Maharashtra will be there. Can a person move from Delhi without touching Maharashtra? Sorry, Gujarat? I don't think so. Tamil Nadu hai exactly 3 states. UP pe I am a bit confused. But UP also from Kolkata to Delhi, a person has to travel through UP, right? Okay, so all 4 states will be there. So this is also incorrect. So therefore here, which of the statements are correct? Neither. Advanced authorization scheme, I'm not completely sure. Which of the following logical sequence is entirely accurate? So 1% logic will not apply. Entirely accurate in the increase of domestic savings. Domestic savings, decrease in consumption. Yes, let's say for example, if a person is hoarding cash, a person starts keeping cash in his purse or in his house, then there will be decrease in consumption. He is not spending it. If there is a decrease in consumption, then there is a decrease in aggregate demand. If the aggregate demand decreases, then there is a short-term growth. Okay, this is correct. Increase in savings lead to decrease in bank liquidity. Savings itself means bank liquidity is high. Or maybe if your savings in the house, then decrease in bank liquidity can come. Bank liquidity and SLR expansion monetary, no. Increase in savings, increase in exports. Savings and exports does not have any relation. Increase in savings, increase in savings, will it lead to increase in interest rate? No, the person is putting money in the bank, right? So banks has a lot of money. So why would they increase the interest rate? Okay, I don't have any clarity here, but firbi I guess that 1 is probably right here. I'll go with 1 here. Angel tax, okay fine, I have a clarity. Angel tax mechanism specifically applies. Specifically is a bit extreme here. Applies when publicly listed companies raise capital by issue. Publicly listed companies and angel tax, is there any relation between the same? Angel tax is basically raised by startups, right? Public limited companies, angel tax, is there any relation? No. So therefore 1 is incorrect. Now the benefit of this type of question is if you know that 1 is incorrect, the financial acts of has officially abolished for all categories. Even though certain extremes are there, that 1 is definitely incorrect, right? So you can directly go with the answer D here. But do make sure that you read the second statement. If it is something more extreme than the first one, then you can mark B as incorrect. Okay? Bonds maybe, I know, but it's a bit analytical. I'll keep it for the second round. RBI excessive volatility and exchange rate of Indian rupee will most likely lead to. So therefore 1% logic cannot be applied here. Sell dollars and buy rupees in the foreign. Okay, this is exactly what the RBI does. Sell dollars and buy Indian rupees to stimulate the demand for Indian rupee. Increase the Indian repo rate to make the Indian assets more attractive. Okay, this is something that I'm not 100% sure. Allow the market forces to correct without any intervention. Now the question itself is saying that RBI determines policies, right? So if RBI is selling and buying dollars, that means that RBI is intervening. So without any intervention, 1 and 3 is contradicting here. So therefore 3 won't be there. So if 3 won't be there, it's 1 only and 1 and 2. I'll keep the second one for the second round. Now 45 pay diammonium phosphate. Do I know about the same? Yes, I know. India currently meets its entire requirement. Not even 0.1% rupee, not even 1 kilo is we are not importing. No, I don't think so. Urea, ammonium, all the fertilizers we import from Qatar and everywhere, right? So entire is a bit extreme words here. So 1 is incorrect. Prolonged and heavy application of DAP. Prolonged and heavy, it's a bit extreme. Contributes to soil acidification. So the word here is that it does not mainly contribute, it does not significantly contribute, it does not primarily contribute. So can you say that it does not even contribute maybe 1%? Prolonged and heavy application of DAP fertilizer contributes to, okay, at least maybe 1% will be there, right? So 2 will be there. DAP is a concentrated fertilizer that provides both nitrogen. If ammonia is there, nitrogen is there, phosphate is there, phosphorus is there to the soil in a water soluble form. Is it in water soluble form or is it in solid form? I'm not sure. So 3, I'm not sure. So 1 is incorrect. So all 3 won't be there. 2 is correct. So none won't be there. I'll do it for second round. Belem declaration, do I know completely factually? No. Mudumalai National Park protected areas are located in the tri-junction. Mudumalai I know because in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So 1 will be there. Chambal, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh. I'm not sure. Namdappa, I'm not sure. Indian landscape commonly found. So commonly found means 1% logic cannot apply. UPSC can say that, we cannot say that, okay, fine, maybe 1 mahogany will be there. Aisa kuch nahi hai. So 1% commonly means maybe UPSC is trying to eliminate one of the options here. That's why UPSC introduced the word commonly, mainly, generally. So maybe all 3 may not be the answer. I will never go for all 3 here. Sandalwood is a tropical deciduous. It's there in Andhra Pradesh. Sal is a tropical. Mahogany, I know it's an evergreen tree, right? So therefore here directly 1 and 3 will be the answer. Now moving on to cirrus cloud thinning. It's a geomorphology question. I'm not sure. 50th pay, it's a very big statement. It's a paragraph question. So I won't be taking that risk here. So 50. Now what was my target here? I started the paper at close to 11:10. Now the time is close to 11:34. So it means that I am close to 6 minutes ahead of my schedule. So this is how you have to evaluate. Okay, fine. Sreejay, you're in your time. You don't have to panic. Okay. Let's say, what if I took 40 minutes here or 45 minutes here? Then I will be in a very pressure situation. Sreejay, you are going very slow. You need to improve your pace. But in the first half an hour, I have almost completed my targets. But for me, these are questions that I know. But for me, what I'm saying is, now I can relax a bit. It doesn't mean that I will slow down. But in my mind, I'm comfortable for this paper. Okay. Now, depth force swap nature. Do I know about the same? No. Consider the following substance. 52. Pollution-based question. So whenever a pollution-based question, the first thing that I look is whether is there any extreme words given here. If there are no mainly, primarily, significantly, then we can apply our 1% logic here. How many of the above toxins are found in commercial tobacco smoke? How many of the above toxins are found in? So can we use our future-based approach here? Maybe in the future, no. But can we use our quantity-based approach here? Are found maybe 0.1%. Itna sara tobacco brands are there in the world. Maybe tobacco can be the cigar as well. Tobacco can be electric cigarettes as well. So maybe there is a reason why electric cigarettes are banned in the world, banned in India. There is a reason why. So maybe one of them will be there. If it was mainly, primarily, polonium would have been something maybe I would have eliminated. I'm not sure. But benzene, cyanide, if the word mainly was there, I don't think significant amount of cyanide will be there because cyanide is deadly. Maybe 0.1% cyanide will be there. Carbon monoxide may be there. Ammonia, maybe 0.1% will be there. Polonium. Now, how did UPSC provide an option such as polonium here? If they wanted to eliminate something, they could have provided maybe uranium or plutonium, which is nuclear in nature. Polonium is something that I don't think UPSC will provide. Polonium, maybe 0.1% will be there. I'm not sure. So I'll go with all 5 here. Species regarding question, I'm not sure. So therefore, I'll keep it for the second round. If the Central Pollution Board categorizes an industry activities as a blue category is a current affairs, I don't know. Potassium nitrate, potassium perchlorate, barium nitrate. Barium nitrate are most frequent. Barium nitrate I have heard. Remediation of toxic heavy metals in industrial effluents, production and formulation of crackers. Yes, barium nitrate I usually associate with crackers. Chemical leaching process in the extraction of hydrocarbons, I don't know. Coolants and moderators used in pressurized Heavy water reactors was also in the news, but I don't think barium nitrate and all. Mostly the answer will be crackers only. Yes. The National Marine Census of 2025 recently seen in news. Do I know about the same? Yes, it is conducted by Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy. Now, whenever the word ministry comes or whenever ministry comes, what do you have to keep in mind? If not this particular ministry, then which ministry, right? Now, if not the Ministry of Fisheries and Animal Husbandry, then it can be the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Ministry of Home Affairs won't come. Statistics and Program Implementation can come. Okay, I'm not sure. It is primarily a scientific expedition designed to expedite the I'm not sure. It is constructed manually using paper. I'm not completely sure. I'll keep it for the second round. Are correct. Okay. Solid waste management rules. Yes, I have read the current affairs. The rule explicitly recognizes, explicitly is a bit extreme word, explicitly recognizes the concept of circular economy and extender. Yes, explicitly recognizes. It's only recognizing, right? Solid waste management rules basically recognizes all this. So therefore, one can be correct. The rule mandates that solid waste be segregated into only two categories by all waste generators. Now, what if it was nuclear waste? What if it was thermal pollution? What if it was a very big industry? It's not only dry waste and wet waste as a hotel, right? What if it's a hospital? They have to segregate dry waste, wet waste, toxic waste. So only two won't be there. For all weight categories, definitely won't be there. For hospitals and all, there will be different multiple things, right? So therefore, two will be incorrect here. Bulk waste, okay, if 2 is incorrect, okay, fine, I only got the answer, are correct. This has been exempted from on-site waste processing requirements. Exempted from on-site waste processing requirements, we got the answer, maybe not exempt, right? So therefore, 1 only will be the answer here. With respect to wildlife conservation and zoo management in India, do I know about the same? Yes, a bit. Subject of protection of wild animals and birds is currently placed under state list of the 7th schedule. No, this I know that because they have been shifted to concurrent list in the 42nd amendment, right? So 1 won't be there. Under the current state regulation, only the central and state governments are permitted. So how do I do this? Whenever such statement come, you think about the other examples which are there. Now, Vantara is an example in Gujarat, right? Vantara. In Kerala also, Thrissur Zoo. It's basically done by the Travancore Devasam Board. Then Vantara is a privately owned zoo, right? So only the state and central government are not. Other will also be there. 2 is incorrect. The final authority to recognize and de-recognize the zoo, respective state wildlife board. If not the state wildlife board, then what? Other bodies can come, but I'm not sure. How many of the above are incorrect? So 1 is incorrect, 2 is incorrect. So therefore, none won't be there, only 1 won't be there. I'll keep it for the second round. 4 birds, exactly 3 of them are listed as critically endangered. Now UPSC पूछेगा critically endangered वगैरह? No, I don't think so. Great Indian bustard is critically endangered. Lion-tailed macaque is endangered. Olive Ridley turtles and all. Millions of olive Ridley turtles are basically nesting in Gahirmada, Rushigulya beaches in Odisha, right? So therefore here, 4 will never be critically endangered. 3 will never be there. Sangai deer, dancing deer in the Kebul Lamjaw National Park, I'm not sure. But 3 is not there. All 4 species are endemic to India. So always remember that whenever certain species are there in the border, now we know that Great Indian bustard is there in Rajasthan, right? It's also flying. Can you say that not even a single Great Indian bustard won't fly into Pakistan? Maybe one of them would fly into Pakistan, right? India and Pakistan, we were politically divided. So can UPSC say that, or can we say that there is no single Great Indian bustard in Pakistan? Maybe one Great Indian bustard may fly over the border to Pakistan, right? So this is more of an extreme. Olive Ridley turtles, it lives in the sea. Can you say that not even a single Olive Ridley turtle is not there in maybe Sri Lanka, Maldives, Mauritius? Can you say that? Not even one. Maybe they swam to Sri Lanka. Then they thought it was Tamil Nadu. It's about such instance, right? So obviously, endemic will not be there for flying species, for sea creatures. So 2D will be the answer. India taxonomy of green steel, current affairs, मुझे नहीं जानता. More satellite, SNT, I am not sure. Nuclear, I am not sure. Black box, I have not heard. LiDAR, which of the following of the principle of Doppler technology commonly used in? So why did UPSC introduce the word commonly here? Maybe one of the above is incorrect, but I'm not sure. ST genome technology, I'm not sure. Diseases, I'm not sure. Okay, the filling of natural gas in tires leads to. So the word mainly is not there, primarily is not, significantly is not there. Leads to means our 1% logic can be applied here. Okay, it may lead to, or it will lead to better pressure retention, yes. It's due to increased fuel efficiency, yes. Less wear and tear. All of these are very general things. Lesser wear and tear, maybe 1% will be there. It may be used to lesser wear and tear that we have increased fuel efficiency. If there is better pressure, then there will be better fuel. Leads to 1% logic can be applied. 3 statements are there, 4 statements are not there. If it was 4 statements, then maybe one of the above was incorrect. But only 3 statements are there. Usually when they provide application-based questions, 3 on 3 is usually correct. So therefore, D will be the answer. In how many of the above has been directly detected? Concept of physics, I'm not sure, but directly is there. I don't think all the above is the answer here. So maybe the answer can be only 1, only 2, or all 3. Electromagnetic aircraft launch system. Now, this is something statements that I love to do, okay, because the word deconstruction can be applied in all these questions, right? So what are the words that I'm looking for here? Electronics should be there, aircraft should be there, launch should be there, system should be there. Frequently used. So now try to frame something in your mind. Electromagnetic aircraft launch system. So some kind of electromagnetic and we are launching the aircraft. Electromagnetic and we are launching. The propulsion mechanism used for high-speed underwater navigation. So here aircraft, this is talking about submarine, it won't come. A system of launching aircraft, launching is there, aircraft is there from the flight, warship using electromagnetic. So all the words are here, right? System is there, launching is there, aircraft is there, electromagnetic is there. So therefore B will be the answer. Deployment of localized electromagnetic is there, but missiles, aircraft कुछ भी नहीं है. इधर भी रॉकेट बूस्टर्स के बारे में बात कर रहा है, ये भी नहीं चलेगा. So therefore B will be the answer. Word deconstruction can be applied here. Nanopart catalyst, I am not sure. Best explains generally unsuitable microwave ovens, I am not sure. Only 100% logic, you need to go for those statements. ठीक है, बाकी सब second round पे कर सकता है. Which of the above were Arthur Wellesley? Okay, history I know a bit. Third Anglo-Mysore War was in close to 1792-93. Fourth Anglo-Mysore was close to like 1798. First Anglo-Maratha War, it happened very earlier. It was in 1775 or something, 1776 or something. Second Anglo-Maratha War was close to 1803, 1804. So if Arthur Wellesley was leading a political figure, then it would have been very closer, right? So 1978 and 1803 is very closer. 1975 and nothing is closer. So 3 won't be there. 1 and 4. Third Anglo-Mysore War is in 1972. So third and second, obviously it will be fourth and second and fourth, right? Because third Anglo-Mysore War and second, it's a big difference, but fourth and second, it's a very less difference, 1978 and 1803, right? So therefore 2 and 4 will be the answer. So do note that we were not testing your factual knowledge here, rather you just needed to know when the war happened, okay? Which of the following acts ended the commercial activities? Now this is something that I know. Commercial activities and made it a completely administrative body. Pitching the act was not there. Charter Act पे trading was limited to China, in tea in India and China. Like in 33 पे commercial activities was completely ended, right? So 1833 it was the answer. To examine the power and relation between paramount power and princely slates. So this is something that UPSC have already asked in 2019 or 2021 or something. To examine the condition, okay, this is basically Butler Commission. To examine the condition of agriculture and to make recommendations for the improvement, mostly related to famine or something. So Butler Committee, 1 correct है, second I don't know, Linglit तो नहीं आएगा, Hutchinson नहीं आएगा, Butler can come. So the answer will either be A or D. Let's keep it for the second round. In the context of Indian national movement, Hemachandra Kanungo, P. Mitra, Barindra Kumar Ghosh, I don't, not Yugandha Party, Home Rule Society नहीं है, leaders of Falipur conspiracy case, yes. At least, you need to learn about the Kakori conspiracy, okay, because it was in It's the 150th anniversary of Kakori conspiracy. It was in 1925-26. Okay. Trading post. Do I know about the same? Yes. Exactly two of the above were primary strongholds. Exactly two of the above were the primary strongholds. What was the primary strongholds of Dutch East India Company? Surat was not a primary household. It was by British and Portuguese. Dutch के पास था पहले. Pulicat is there. Chinchori is there. Calicut is there. Exactly two nahi. Chinchora, Calicut and Pulicat is there. Yes, so 3 will be there. Exactly 2 of the above were first factories established by British. The first was in basically Surat in the western coast and Masulipatanam in the eastern coast. So therefore, Surat is there, Nagapatnam is there, Masulipatanam is not there. So therefore, 2 will also be incorrect. So therefore, neither 1 nor 2. In the late 1930s, a major ideological difference emerged between Mahatma Gandhi and Subhash Chandra Bose regarding the future of free India. Which of the evidences are incorrect? So always make sure you circle whether it's correct or incorrect. Okay? Gandhi prioritized village sufficiency, yes, and Bose advocated large-scale social and planning, yes. Gandhi viewed socialism as a moral change of heart through trusteeship. Bose viewed it as a straight structure, yes. Gandhi insisted that India's freedom must be won through internal moral strength, yes. And Gandhi believed in, yes, that's why he went to Berlin to meet Hitler. Gandhi advocated for immediate and total withdrawal. No. Gandhi told that we need to support the British. That's why the individual satyagraha was launched. We should not launch a national movement so that the Axis powers such as Germany and others win. Bose will never favor a transition, right? Bose was always a man of, wars, total revolution, total withdrawal and everything. So therefore, D will be incorrect. Okay, that was easy. This is very hard. Keep it for the second round. With reference to Indian history, which of the following Purna Swaraj, complete independence, has the stated objective? So Purna Swaraj, firstly, it was in the Lahore session of 1930. After that, it came. So non-cooperation movement, it was only like Swaraj. Purna Swaraj was not there. So 1 you can eliminate here. Now, so therefore 2 and 4 will be correct. Now, individual satyagraha has Purna Swaraj? No, individual satyagraha never has Purna Swaraj, right? Individual satyagraha is not even a mass movement. Only like few individuals here and there, they were participating. So, stated objective Purna Swaraj was not there. 2 and 4 only. Vaikam Satyagraha, which concluded, okay, Vaikam is in Kerala, concluded 100 years ago, was aimed at temple movement. So among the following, how many of the movements were primarily associated with? Okay, fine. So when the word primarily comes, it has to have a direct relation. So therefore, I don't think all 3 is the answer here. Gruvay Satyagraha is in Kerala, I know. Kalaram, even though, see, this is where you have to think, okay? So Kalaram is not something very famous, right? So do you expect UPSC to know all this? Sorry, does UPSC expect you to know all this? What should you do when unheard options or not familiar options come? Should you take it positive or negative? Everyone? You should be taking this as, definitely you should be taking it as positive, right? So Kalaram is not a famous option. So therefore, take it as positive. Keda is something very famous. So therefore, UPSC expect you to know about Keda Satyagraha. And it was a Gandhian movement. It was a farmer movement. It was not related to, how should I put it? Temple movement, right? So Guruvayur and Kalaram. Kalaram, if you don't know, always take it positive. Okay, so therefore only 2 will be the answer here. Consider the following decisions regarding UNESCO. Now always remember that, now this logic won't apply always, but always remember that the most famous ones, would have gotten the status much earlier. Let's say for example, Taj Mahal got the UNESCO status in 1986, Ajanta Caves, all the major ones. Abhi jo mil raha hai na, that won't be as famous as the ones which has received before. Let's say Shantiniketan, Ramappa Temple, the forts, the chivalry forts of Shivaji. They are not as famous as the previous ones, right? So mostly look for the less famous options that would have gotten recently. Okay. But here that logic was basically, Deepavali is actually very famous. So maybe Diwali would have gotten earlier. But Deepavali, as you know, right? Deepavali got the status in 2025. So Deepavali will be there. Durga Puja of Kolkata. What do you think of yoga? Yoga, basically Narendra Modi and all the BJP government and everyone tried to promote yoga before, right, in 2014, 2016. 2016, I guess, was designated as International Year of Yoga, something like that. So I guess yoga would have been earlier because the BJP government, it's a part of our soft power diplomacy. Durga Puja Garba, it's a PYQ 2023. Durga Puja, I'm not sure. But Durga Puja is not a national festival or something. Maybe, I'm not sure. But only one nahi aayega, all four nahi aayega. Okay, I'll keep it for a second round. Pushyabudhi dynasty. Okay, fine. I know about Pushyabudhi dynasty. Prabhakaravardhana, the first important king. Maybe he's not an important king. Had his capital Taneshwar. Is not correct. Taneshwar. Taneshwar was the capital of basically Pushyabudhi dynasty. During his first expedition against Shashanka, Harsha made Kanauj as his new capital. Maybe, I don't know. Initially, Pushyabudhi served as the feudatories of Chalukyas of Badami. Now think about it. Chalukyas of Badami matlab they are in Karnataka. Harshvardhana has his capital at Tanesa, which is in Haryana. So is there any relation between a dynasty in Haryana and a relation between dynasty which is there in Karnataka? Definitely, they are basically miles apart, close to 2,000 kilometers. They are under different time period as well. Harsha was basically, Harsha, definitely. Chalukya, Pulageshina and Harshvardhana fought it, right? So basically, Harshvardhana was in North India, Chalukya was in South India. Pulageshina and Harshvardhana basically fought each other, so they will never be the feudatories of each other, right? So 3 will never always be incorrect. So therefore, 82, C will be the answer. Which of the following were North India Peta or post-Mauryan between the decline of Maurya and the rise of Gupta? So decline of Gupta, matlab close to 200 BC to the rise of Gupta, close to 200 to 300 AD. Ispe konta. So we can include all the dynasties which came from outside. So Mauryan dynasty was overthrown by Shunga dynasty, Pushyamitra Shunga. So he will be there. The Kushanas, Indo-Greeks, Pallava or the Parthians, Shagas or the Indo-Scythians will be there. So Shaga, Pallava or the Parthian dynasty, Kushanas and Shunga will be there. Gujjar Pratihara, as all of you know, it won't be there. They were basically the Rajputs which came under 700 to 600 AD. Nanda dynasty is a part of Magadha dynasty, right? So Mahapadmananda, Dhanananda was defeated by the Mauryan dynasty. So therefore, ye bhi nahi aayega. So therefore, 1, 2, 3, 6. Also, we can go with the pattern here as well. So 6 options are there. So therefore, 4 will be the answer, right? B will be the answer. Dharma Chakra, a primary Indian symbol. Okay, I am not completely sure, but state emblem of India, obviously it's there. Official seal of Supreme Court of India. Supreme Court is basically the follower of Dharma. Dharma basically means truth. So Supreme Court pe ho sakta hai. Gallantry award Ashoka Chakra. Ashoka Chakra in itself means the Dharma Chakra, right? So therefore, it will be there. Official logo of Niti Aayog. I am not sure. So 1 and 2 will not be there. 50-50. In the context of Chola Empire's administrative and military organization, administrative bhi hai, military bhi hai, Chola bhi hai. So matlab a Dravidian term Kadangam. So administrative should also be there, military should also be there. Centers of international trade pe military nahi hai. Religious and temple concept pe military nahi hai. Army garrisons are military. So military is here, administration is also here. Village assemblies are mostly in Nagaram, Ur, Sabha. So military. So therefore, okay, it's a very simple question. Military, you can directly get it. The concept of Charbagh are central to Indo-Islamic architecture. Which of the following strictly follow? So strictly follow means all 4 may not be the option here. So why did UPSC introduce the word strictly? Maybe to eliminate one of the options. Humayun tomb in Delhi, as you know, Charbagh is there. First Charbagh is in Humayun tomb of Delhi. Taj Mahal, obviously it's there. Shalimar Bagh, matlab it's a garden. Charbagh is a garden. So therefore, it may be there. Buland Darwaza is basically the gateway, right? Gateway does not have Charbagh and all. So therefore, 1, 2, 3 will be the answer here. Literature also, I am a bit confident in. I can give it a try. Exactly 3 of the above were written by the court poets of the respective kings. Mudrakshasa was written by Vishagadatta. It's related to the Mauryan period. But Vishagadatta was not court poet of the respective king. No. Harshacharita it was written by Banabhatta, so respective king. Rajatarangini was written by Kalhana and does not have any relation with the king. Indika was written by Megasthenes, who was a court. He was not a court poet. He was just an ambassador. But फिर भी है ना 3 नहीं आएगा because Mudrarakshasa is not there, Rajatarangini is not there. So therefore, Indika may come. It's different. It depends on different interpretations, but exactly 3 will never be there. All 4 works provide significance, or 1% logic will not apply here. It has to significantly provide information regarding Mauryan Empire. Indika Mauryan Empire hai, Rajatarangini Kalhana, it's from Gupta dynasty to 4th century to 10th century. Harshacharita Banabhatta hai, Mauryan Empire, so all 4 definitely not there. Among the following states of India can one see a dam, ruins of ancient learning center, and a modern university, all named after a renowned Mahayana Buddhist saint. So who are the Mahayana Buddhist saints? Mahayana Buddhist saints, you have, who are they? You have Yogacara school, you have Madhyamika school, you have, okay, who are the people? Nagasena is there, Nagarjuna is there, then who are the other Mahayana saints? Nagarjuna, okay, read about the saints of this one. Okay, Nagarjuna we can take, right? Nagarjuna Konda. So Nagarjuna Konda is an ancient learning center. Nagarjuna Sagar Dam is also there. Modern university, I don't know. Bihar pe Nalanda is there. Nalanda is the name of a famous saint. Nalanda, Takshashila, Odandapuri, Vikramshila. Vikramshila जैसे एक Mahayana saint है. Odandapuri, is it a name of a Mahayana saint? Odandapuri, is there a dam? Odandapuri. Nalanda, is there a dam? Nalanda dam. Odandapuri dam. Vikramshila dam. No, Nagarjuna Sagar dam, Nagarjuna Konda. Yeah, Nagarjuna will be the answer. G20 summit, do I know? Yes, I know. Which of the following? South African presidency. Establishment of global digital to rival the dollar? No, it will be only done by the BRICS because in G20, US is also there. Addressing the excessive debt burdens of developing nations and transitioning to clean energy. So since it's hosted by South Africa, mostly they will be focusing on global south. So solidarity, equality, sustainability. So what does mean by sustainability? Sustainability can be debt and sustainability or energy and sustainability. B can be the answer. Formal expression of Russia? No. It's only from G7. Unified military task force? No. Very extreme, very extreme. B will be the answer. Do I know about High Street Treaty? No. Skip karo. UAE, it's something very analytical. It's something very analytical. Don't go for, in the first round, don't go for such statements. These are, these requires a lot of thinking. These requires, it will actually strain your mind a lot. So don't go and do such type of questions. Keep all this for the second round. Second round is where we apply logic and everything, right? It's a energy storage and task force. I don't know. Sudan, I'm not extremely sure. I'll keep it for a second round. Places in news. Yes, I know. Saint Martin Island, it's in Bangladesh, but it does not have any relation with India. It's between Bangladesh and Myanmar. Falkland Islands, it's not related to Iran. I know it's related to Argentina and UK. Abyei region and Somaliland. Abyei region is basically in Sudan. Somaliland is in Somalia. Ethiopia. Okay, no relation is there. None will be the answer. 47th summit in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. The formal admission of, okay, this we know. A will be the answer. Myanmar ne withdraw nahi kiya. Australian observer, nahi. Relocation of Jakarta to Kuala Lumpur, no. Timor-Leste, all of us know. A will be the answer. This I am not sure. I'll skip it. Order of precedence. An aspirant attempts a high-profile national security summit in New Delhi. He noticed that following dignitaries. Order of precedence. So, Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister. So, obviously, 1 will come first and 2 will come second. So, C will not be the answer. Pele, definitely Prime Minister will only come. Next, who will come? Okay, I'm not sure. Inaugural Khelo India Games. Do I know? No. National Sports Governance. Do I know? No. Major international cricket events. Yes, this I know. How many of the above were won by Indian men's cricket? 2020 World Cup we won. This is actually a heartbreak. We know men's cricket World Cup was won by Australia. This was won by South Africa. Men's Asia Cup we won, defeating Pakistan. ICC World Cup also we won in Wankhede. So 145. Okay, 145 will be the answer. Now let's say for example, now abhi time kya hai? It's basically 12-2. So my time was first round I should have been completed in 12 and 10. So it's almost the same time. Now this is where now I start. Now I know that, okay, Sreejay, you may get a second round. So what do you have to do? You don't need to attempt all the questions in the second round only. Certain questions which you feel that, okay, fine, if I can dedicate maybe 10 or 15 seconds more, I can keep it for the third round because I'm in my time. If it was maybe 12:20 or 12:30, now I'll take the decision that, Sreejay, you don't have the time. You have you have to be very fast. You have to be decisive. Therefore, you have to attempt all the questions in the second round only. But Abhi, since I feel that, okay, fine, I'll have the time, what do? Those options which I'm not even able to eliminate one of the options, in which I'm not able to eliminate even one of the options, I'll keep it for the third round. बाकी सब options है ना, बाकी सब questions पे ना, I'll do it in the second round only. Always remember, if you have a lack of time, if you eliminate one option, then you need to attempt that questions in the second round only. Don't keep it for the third round because you have done multiple FLTs. Now you know that when I keep such questions for the third round, I am not getting the time to come and review the question once again. So don't make that mistake. Do all the questions in the second round. It depends on person to person. But if you're someone who feels that you're just keeping questions for the second, third round and you're not getting the time, that you have understood that after doing multiple FLTs, then do it in the second round only. Now, I also do it in the second round because what I feel is, let's say already I have invested close to 1 minute for a question, right? Now, even if I keep it for the third round, I will only be getting maybe 10 or 15 seconds more. So is there any significant benefit or significant thought process that will come to me? Is there any significant factual knowledge that will come to me? Is it any significant elimination that will come to me? No. So therefore, I know that I have exhausted all my factual knowledge, all my elimination knowledge as well. So therefore, I will be attempting that question in the second round only. Okay. If you feel that, okay, if I invest maybe 10 seconds more, कुछ facts मुझे आ रहा है, कुछ logic मुझे आ रहा है मेरे third round पे, then you can keep your questions for the third round. But only if you're in your proper time management. If you're not in your time management, then never keep questions for your third round. Okay, do it in the second round only. Okay. Now this is where you have to start marking. Okay, don't mark in the OMR in the first round because you need to see all the 100 questions. Maybe let's say you attempted the third question, and when you attempted the 93rd question, maybe you will feel that, okay, fine, that in the third question the answer was this. Ye ho sakta hai, right? Maybe other questions will give you some clues to any other question. So never mark in the first round, okay? Because certain other questions can give you certain clues. So therefore, you need to see all the 100 questions. In the second round, you read the first question, then you mark. You read the second question, then you mark. You read the third question, then you mark. Okay. Now, I don't have the OMR here, but I'll be just marking like this. Okay. A, B, C is the answer. Now, how should you think? Now, always, you try to think in a very structured approach. Now, there are two ways, right? You can think geographically, quantity, future-based approach. You can think like a mains answer. Politically, BJP ye karega, Modi ji ye karega. Socially, Modi ji ye karega. Will the government of India is mostly following a capitalist approach? So, will they provide this? So, politically, economically, socially, internationally, Trump ऐसा करेगा, अभी ऐसा करेगा, ऐसे सोचना है. So, try to frame your mind socially, politically, economically, geographically, economically. Don't just randomly think about things. Okay, try to structure your mind in some manner. Usually, politically, socially, economically, ही सोचना है आपको. ठीक है. Now here, with respect to illustrative process, now here, now should I read the third statement once again? Now here, I have already eliminated the third statement here. Should I read it once again? No, you should never be thinking about the third statement, Abhi. That's why we keep it for the second round, right? Now you have to only think about the first two statements and you have to make a decision here. Now, the question here is whether one only is correct or two only is correct. The bill contains provision exclusively relating to abolition, remission, or regulation of tax. This I feel okay. Also, this can also be correct. This is with respect to conclude a bill that is definitely a money bill. But you know that all money bills are financial bill as well. So maybe this can be a financial bill as well. But second pe bol rahe is the bill has been endorsed with a certificate signed by the Speaker of the House. So here the Speaker says that this is a money bill. So if the Speaker certifies that it's a money bill, then obviously it will be a money bill, right? Second pay, all money bills can be financial bills, so it can be a financial bill as well. And see, the second thing is that you need to have a mental mind clock. Okay. So let's say, for example, what do I mean here? I mean, you don't need to look at the clock or you don't need to look at the watch and make sure that, okay, fine, I started this question at 60. So therefore, I have 1 minute to get the answer to this question. Yes, but you need to have some kind of mental mind clock. So maximum second round pay you can invest for a question is probably 1 minute or something. Okay, always ensure that after 1 minute, you won't be getting any factual things. You will not be getting any logic. In the 1 minute, you have exhausted everything. Abhi you are just being very indecisive. So don't do that. 1 minute, aapne kiya, then you take a decision and then you move on. Now you train your mind. You can train your mind in that manner. Okay. Maybe to one FLT or one maybe any other question when you do, you train your mind to take a decision in like 1 minute. Okay, I'll just reset the same. Okay, so 1 minute you should have that mental mind clock. Not even 1 minute, maybe 50 seconds. That's the total amount that you will get. And you practice that. Okay, fine. Abhi 50 seconds okay. Now I have to take a decision and move on. You practice that. If you practice that, then wo mental mind clock will work. Or otherwise, you will be spending close to 2 minutes or 3 minutes for a question. So never do that. Okay. So let's say, for example, this way. I know that even if I spend 3 minutes for a question, I am not getting any other additional logic. So therefore here, if the speaker is certifying the same, then it's sufficient if the speaker certifies it's a money bill. So therefore, I take a decision. Now I'm doing the second round, right? So I know that 2 only is the answer. So therefore, I'll mark in the OMR 2 only. Now I'll move to the second one. Exactly 3 of the above. So here, second one I have eliminated, so only 1. Exactly 3 of the above. Holding of office of profit may be there. Being of unsound mind will be there. Voluntarily acquiring the citizen of a foreign state. If not constitution, then what? Then it can be Representation of People's Act. But Representation of People's Act mostly deals with the corruption and other disqualifications, right? Insolvent and unsound mind, holding of office of profit is definitely there. Voluntarily acquiring the citizen of a foreign state, does it come under the Citizenship Act or does it come under the Constitution? So does it come under the Citizenship or the Representation of People's Act? So 4 options are given. Will 4 be correct? सिर्फ इतना सोचना है. You have tried to counter the same. You have tried to counter with Representation of People's Act. You have tried to counter with Citizenship Act. You are not completely able to counter the same. You are not able to definitely take a decision that, okay, fine, this is there in Representation of People's Act. This is there in the Citizenship Act. So therefore, what do? You take it as positive and then you move on. So here, all the 4 will come under Article 102. So therefore, here it says that exactly 3 of the above. It's not exactly 3 of the above. All 4 is there. So therefore, the answer will be, this is also incorrect. This is also incorrect. So therefore, D will be the answer here. Neither 1 nor 2. Okay. Now here, shall be considered ordinarily resident. If a person owns or possesses a dwelling house in her constituency but generally decides, so what does it mean? It means that, let's say for example, I have a house in Kerala, but close to like 40 years or 50 years, I have been living in Delhi. So generally resides. So I have a house in Kerala, but close to like 40 years, 50 years, I am living in Delhi. So will my name will be there in the SIR? Ordinary resident. Ordinary resident, what does it mean? Ordinary resident means he has to reside there, right? So, but ordinarily, I am residing in some other place. Ordinarily and generally is the same thing. So, therefore, one will not be there. If the habitat person resident, if it's a habitual resident means he's an ordinary resident, but temporarily absent. Temporarily absent means, okay, fine, I went to Thailand. I went to a tour. So, does that mean anything? No, ordinary resident. If he's a member of the armed forces and posted outside his constituency, okay, posted outside his constituency, that does not, he just went for the job, right? But his home is in Kerala. He's posted in Ladakh, but his home is in Kerala. In the leave, he'll be coming back to Kerala only. Okay, so therefore, 2 and 3 will be there. 1, he's not an ordinary resident. Generally, he's residing at some other place. So he's not an ordinary resident. So therefore, 2 and 3 will be the answer. Now you mark there, I'll mark the OMR. Now here, 1 and 2 I know. How many of the above statements are included, are mainly naye, primarily included, primary naye, under the ambit of principle of natural justice? Here the word explicitly mentioned is not there. According to theory is not there. So therefore we can go with a more of a general sense. Now requirement of a recent decision. Requirement of a recent decision means the decision should not be biased. The decision should not be arbitrary. So requirement of a recent decision and bias can almost mean the same thing, right? And there is no theory. According to theory, if a person's name was there, according to Mahalanobis, then I can say that, okay, fine. Then Mahalanobis should have said the same thing. Here, aisa kuch nahi hai. There is no theory. There is no policy. So the spectrum is very high here. So therefore here, requirement of recent decision and bias, okay, fine. I'll go with only C. How many of the languages are mentioned in the backside of Indian rupee? So I know Hindi is not there. Dogri is not there in the schedule 22. So therefore, I don't think Dogri will be there. Odia can be there. Malayalam is there. It's a classical language. Punjabi is a schedule 22 language. It can be there. Nepali will be there. Nepali, I am not sure. So only 4 will not be there, only 2 and only 3. Now, in this situation, what do you need to do? When you're going with a 5-statement question and you are confused between 2 or 3 options, now you have exhausted your factual knowledge, you have exhausted your elimination. Now what do? You go with the pattern, right? So it's a 5-statement question, you have exhausted everything, now go with the pattern. So only 3 you go with. Okay. Supreme Court. So here, only this one I have a confusion. The opinion of the Supreme Court on a reference made during the dispute. Now, let's say, for example, the Supreme Court said something. Is it binding? Supreme Court ने कुछ कहा है and it will be binding. Supreme Court ने pre-constitutional agreement के बारे में कुछ कहा है. Is it binding? What is actually Supreme Court saying? So basically, there are 2 things. Pre-constitutional agreement पे, if the president asks something, the Supreme Court has to mandatory give his opinion. But in case of any current Supreme Court, the president is asking for the reference, the Supreme Court may give his opinion or may not give the opinion, right? So the opinion is basically they have to give. That opinion itself is not mandatory or something, that in nowhere it's mentioned, right? So therefore here, okay, 1 is incorrect. So therefore, only 2 will be the answer here. Specially petition. A petition can be filed against a judgment of tribunals. Okay, it can be filed. Can is a very general word here. Specially petition are generally not maintainable by decisions of court-martial. Court-martial pe can be filed a SLP. Maybe in any exemption cases it may have been filed, but generally is it filed? No, generally it's not filed. So it's more of a general statement here. Filing of SLP is a legal right? No, nothing is a legal right. Okay. Let's say, for example, you have to comply with certain criteria. Then only, even, let's say, for example, you went to a high court and you have to file a case with the Supreme Court. Only if you fulfill certain criteria, let's say you have to file the case within 90 days, you have to have certain constitutional question to it, then only you can file the case, or else it will be completely rejected by the Supreme Court. So is it a legal right or something? No, SLP will never be a legal right, right? Constitutional cases can be brought before Supreme Court. Constitutional cases can be brought, okay, fine. Now abhi the case is in district court, but it requires some constitutional understanding. So maybe in maybe one of the cases, millions of cases are happening there in India, right? So maybe in one of the cases, a case must have, maybe in some very important case, they did not directly go to the high court, they directly went from Supreme Court, from the district court. So maybe one of the case, maybe they can be brought, is something very general. So therefore 1, 2, 3, 4 will be the answer. Negative duty, to uphold the sovereignty of the integrity, to uphold something. So in upholding the sovereignty, so we are doing something. To renounce practices derogatory to dignity of the women, to strive towards excellence in all spheres, to defend the country. Now negative duty matlab positive duty bhi hai. So when we group this in, what you are getting? Upholding the sovereignty, strive towards, so upholding the sovereignty and to defend the country. Upholding the sovereignty means we are defending the country from external things, right? So 1 and B, mostly it will go together. To strive towards excellence also. To negative duty means we are not doing something. So in A, C and D, we are doing something, but B pe we are not doing something. To renounce derogatory to the dignity of, okay, this feels like a bit negative. Or when you group this in, A, C and D will come together. B, I feel negative duty. Okay, maybe B. इतना ही सोचना है, ठीक है, and else you take a decision and move on. Statutory body हमने किया है, okay, 9 मैंने किया है. Now I'll mark the OMR. Doctrine of essentiality under religious practice, which of the following is sufficient? मतलब it needs to be there. The practice has been followed by community for more than a century. Let's say, for example, Sati was there. Sati was a practice followed by a community more than a century. But does that mean it's a doctrine of essentiality? No, it does not matter, right? So 1 will not be there. The Supreme Court determines that the removal of the practice would fundamentally change. Yes, ये correct है. So if that is removed, then it will fundamentally change the nature of the religion. Therefore, it's essential. Okay, this can be there. So 2 will be there, 1 you can eliminate. So if 1 is eliminated, then directly 2 will be the answer. The practice is mentioned the primary foundation scriptures. Let's say, for example, even if it is there in Quran, even if it's there in Bible, but it's going against humanity. It talks about manslaughter. It talks about sadi. It talks about other various stupid things. So is it primarily, is it essential for it? No, it's not essential, right? So therefore, only 2 will be the answer. Right to publicity. So it's Article 19 or 21. Usually in all the cases, Article 19 is not something very broader. Article 21 is very broader and has a larger spectrum. Right to privacy and everything Supreme Court basically interprets in Article 21 only. So if you're confused between Article 19 and 21, always go with Article 21. Because 21 is very broader when compared to Article 19. Okay? So Article 21, you can mark. Now, you can also try these things, what I usually do is, I usually go take 2 to 3 pens, right? So whenever you're marking an OMR, you can place the pen. Let's say, for example, you are doing the 13th question. Now, you put the other pen on the 12th question. Then you make sure that you are exactly marking on 13. Okay. So let's say, for example, you are marking on the 13th question. Now, what do? You put your pen on the 12th question. So therefore, it's completely hidden under that. So you make sure that you are marking under 13. Or the other things that students actually do is, first of all, you put a dot. Okay, you're marking on 13th, you put a dot on B. You make sure that you're marking on 13, then you start circling it. Don't directly go and circle it, okay? First you can put a dot, you make sure that you're marking 13, then you mark it. Or you place your hand on the 12th one, ऐसे ही completely cover करो, और question paper से cover करो, कुछ भी cover करो, pen से cover करो, and you make sure that you're marking on 13. ऐसे कुछ भी करना है, ठीक है? Don't just directly go and do it. Okay. Now 12p, to promulgate an ordinance under which of the following is necessary. Now, which of the following is necessary? Immediate action is necessary. Immediate action is necessary. Okay, fine. Immediate action is necessary. Only when immediate action is there, an ordinance needs to be passed, right? If it's not an immediate action, then why do we pass the ordinance? We can wait for both the House of Parliament to come in session. So it's only for an immediate thing we pass the ordinance. Okay, fine. That is correct. Prior approval of Parliament is not there. Neither House of the Parliament is in session. Now, should neither House of the Parliament be there, or Is it only one house? Now here, you go it here. There is no logic in. Logic can be that both the House of Parliament needs to be in session not to pass a bill. So even if one house is not there, then we cannot pass a bill, right? Let's say, for example, Lok Sabha is dissolved, but we need to pass a law. But the Rajya Sabha is still there. So what will happen? So there is no necessary that both the House of Parliament is not in session. Even if one of the house is not there, then also we can pass an ordinance, right? So therefore, one is not there. So therefore, 2 is the answer. So therefore, only 1 is the answer here. Now, ISPE, Promotion and Regulation of Online Gaming Act. It establishes an online gaming authority under the administrative control of Ministry of Youth and Sports. If not Ministry of Youth and Sports, then what will come? It's related to online gaming and Youth and Affairs and Sports. If not this, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology can come. Do make sure that if you are only able to counter, you counter it. Don't just blindly take questions like, okay, fine, in the previous last year's pura question per ministry was wrong. ऐसा नहीं है, ठीक है? UPSC knows all this. So that's why in 2025, UPSC have given Pradhan Mantri Har Ghar Bijli Har Yojana and made the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy as correct. So if you feel that, okay, fine, this is related to sports, it can be the answer. ऐसे सोचना है, ठीक है? Don't blindly take it as incorrect. But here it's related to online gaming or something. So mostly the Ministry of Electronics. Ministry of Sports is usually related to Kalo India Games. They are related to Olympic Podium Scheme. It's related to sports, the direct sports. They are not related to e-games and all. So maybe Ministry of Electronics can come. It imposes a complete ban on all forms of online games, including social and esports. All forms of online games? I don't think so. All forms. Abibi, we are playing Subway Surfers. So only like the Dream 11 and other games are banned, right? But we are playing Candy Crush, everything is Abibi there. So therefore 2 will definitely be incorrect. So if 2 is incorrect, now you're confused between 1 and 3. It formally, so 3 will be there. So you're just only confused between 1. See, let me tell you that even if you went with option D here, I don't blame you, because Ministry of Electronics is the answer, but fir bhi 50-50 here. Because in second statement pe bhi, it recognizes esports as a legitimate sport with the Ministry of Youth and Sports Affairs tasked to prepare the guidelines. So here also Ministry of Youth and Sports is there. First statement also Ministry of Sports, Youth and Sports is there. So you will feel that, okay, fine, they are complementary in nature. So if you went with 1 and 3 as well, then that's a good logic. Okay? Answer is C, but if you went with 1 and 3, that's also totally fine. Ispe, first statement, scheduled areas. So second statement I know. So the answer will either be 2 only or both 1 and 2. Chhattisgarh is a backward district, right? Chhattisgarh is definitely a backward district. So therefore it will come under schedule 5. Himachal Pradesh, so close to like 10 to 11 states are there. So Himachal Pradesh is a tribe. It's a Himalayan state. So what are the states? Chhattisgarh, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh. Himachal Pradesh can be there. It's also a less developed state. It's not a very developed state or something. I'll go with 2 here. If it was Kerala, if it was Tamil Nadu, if it was something more developed states, Himachal also a lot of tribal population is there. So therefore Himachal Pradesh can also come. Okay. To impose a precedent, failure of constitutional machinery. Obviously the constitutional machinery failure should be there. That I guess is necessary. So 1 will be there. Now the question is whether 2, recommendation of the governor, is it necessary? Let's say for example, the governor says that you don't have to do the president rule. But the central government says that, let's say there is a tussle between this governor and central government. Governor says that you don't have to do president rule here. So now what will happen? Is the recommendation of the governor necessary? No. What if the governor was appointed by the Congress government and then the BJP government wants to impose president rule? Will the governor says that recommendation is there? No, I don't think the recommendation of the governor is necessary, right? Because it's an emergency. Why would they make such a provision? No, recommendation of the governor is not needed. 3, presidential satisfaction must be based on relevant material. relevant material matlab must be based on. So it's saying that it should not be discretionary. So I don't think it will be there in the constitution, but maybe any Supreme Court judgment, Supreme Court will say that randomly you cannot do president rule in Uttarakhand, randomly you cannot do president rule in Manipur. There has to be some relevant material, right? So constitution pe nahi hoga, maybe in any of the Supreme Court, maybe any other cases they would have. It's a 50-50 here. Must be based on or may be based on. Must be based on, okay fine, I'll go with 1 and 3. If you went with 1 and 3 or if you went with 1 only, both is good, okay. Must be based on relevant material. In the constitution it will never be there. Constitution, it's a centralizing constitution, right? So the emergency is always centralizing. So they will never say that it cannot be discretionary. So constitution pe nahi hoga, but the Supreme Court would have interpreted in that manner. Okay. So always remember, if it was an article, okay, to impose the president rule, to impose the president rules in a state under Article 356, which of the following has been explicitly mentioned in the Constitution? Okay, if the question was which of the following has been explicitly mentioned in the Constitution, then statement 3 will never be the answer, because always emergencies is something that we can do it like that. So the Constitution will never say that, right? So therefore, but here Supreme Court judgment can also apply. If the question was it is explicitly mentioned in the Constitution, then 3 won't be there. But here, Supreme Court judgments can also be used. So therefore, 1 and 3 will be the answer. 6-month rule, vice president or is it for president? It's a 4 big statement question. So whenever UPSC asks 4 big statement questions, all 4 has never been the answer in almost 10 years. So therefore, even if I am confused between certain things, I should not be going with D, rather I should be going with C. Okay, I'll be going with C because all 4 and big statements in the last 10 years never has been the answer. So therefore, if you're confused between only 3 and all 4 and it's a 4 big statement questions, always go with only 3. And also you must know that, okay, vice president, current affairs information here. Okay, let's do. The cold front are usually associated with more violent and, should I do the whole paper? Did you guys basically understand how you have to do the paper? Everyone? So ऐसे ही करना है, ठीक है? You should be thinking about the patterns. You should be thinking about each and everything. Let's say, for example, this question: the cold fronts are usually associated with more violent and form. Now, why are they usually associated with the same? Because the steep slope of the warm front moist abruptly leading to formation of cumulus clouds. I don't know this statement. Okay, I'll be keeping it for the third round. The concept of diurnal temperature range would become irrelevant. So what is happening here? If the earth stop rotating and वो axis भी नहीं कर रहे हैं वो, so it's like moving like this. So let's say for example here is India on this side. Now if it moving like this, then India will be on this side. So 6 months it will be day in India and 6 months it will be night in India. So diurnal matlab it's the difference between day and night. So day and night is not there, right? So the concept of day and night would become irrelevant for half of the planet or whole of the planet would become irrelevant because there is no day and night. Okay, it would become irrelevant. Yes. The Coriolis force would cease to exist. No, the Coriolis force is basically due to the rotation, right? So even if the word cease to exist is there, okay, Coriolis force will cease to exist because there is no rotation. Only because of the rotation, Coriolis force is there. So if there is no rotation, then there is no Coriolis force. Yes. A day on Earth would become equal to 1 year. So 1 and 2 is correct here. So 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 will not be there. So day on Earth will become equal to 1 year. So what is the meaning here? Day on Earth. Now what is a day? Day means that now abhi light hai. So abhi it's 6 a.m. So light comes. Abhi raat aayega. And morning pe again light will come. So day means day matlab light पूरा दिन है और complete night is there and then again light will come. So it's like light, night and then light. Right. So day and earth matlab 6 months पूरा light है और 6 months पूरा dark है and then again on the let's say for example January 1st to June पूरा light है, then June to December पूरा रात है, and then again on January 1st light will come. So what does it mean? A day. Light comes at 6 a.m. Light, then raat, then again light at 6 a.m. So therefore a day on earth will be equal to 1 year. Yes. So therefore D will be the answer here. So therefore I'll mark D. Oceanic ranges, I know, I'll be marking A. Day increases, I know, I'll be marking 21 only. Benefits, I already mark, it's D. It's not a very big statement, okay? So what does it mean by a very big statement? A very big statement means sentence hona chahiye. Only when very big sentences come, you should not be taking all four as the answer. Okay? But when maintaining soil moisture, reducing carbon footprint, controlling air pollution, reduce level of labor, these are not very big sentences, right? So therefore, you can apply your 1% logic here. You can do anything. Always remember, the pattern applies for pace. The pattern does not apply for these type of questions. These type of questions pe kya pattern hai? When 4 big statements come, all 4 will not be the answer, all 4 may not be the answer. But in choti moti sentence pe na, there is no logic here. Okay? So here 21, I'll mark D here. Okay, so here the confusion is whether 2 will come. Indians will be consuming more starch and calories. Starch. Starch is basically sugar, or starch is basically glucose. But starch, calories, okay, calories can be ragi, jowar and bajra will have calories, but will they have starch? Should you take it as a multiple fact? Starch should also be there, sugar, calorie should also be there. No, should not be taking this as a multiple fact or something, okay? Because do ensure that multiple fact basically comes for locations, ministries, departments and everything. ये छोटी मोटी चीज के लिए ना multiple facts नहीं है, ठीक है? So starch basically means sugar, but do you know that millets के glycemic index are very less, so they have less sugar. Rice has a lot of sugar. Even my mother, father does not eat rice because they have a lot of, they are basically diabetic patients. Not patients, they are basically diabetic. So therefore, millets, yes, millets has less starch. So therefore, 2 will be incorrect. So therefore, I'll be going with C, 1 and 3 only. Okay, Ispe. A geologist travels overland setting from Saladi, Uyuni to Atacama. Atacama, you know that is in Chile. So Saladi Uyuni and Saladi Hombre Muerto. Hombre Muerto. Saladi Hombre Muerto. Hombre Muerto, will it be in Brazil or it will be in Argentina? Saladi Uyuni, will it be in Bolivia and Peru? Muerto. Muerto, Spanish. Spanish is also there in Brazil and Argentina. Which is very closer? Bolivia, Chile, Argentina. This is very closer. Brazil is here. Saladi Uyuni. So he is moving from Bolivia to Chile to Argentina. He is moving from Peru to Chile to Brazil. Saladi Uyuni, Atacama. 50-50 है, you have to choose, और कुछ नहीं है इस पे. Saladi Muerto. Now the answer, this is something that all of you should know. Saladi Uyuni is the largest and the highest salt flat pan. It's more bigger than the run of Kutch and everything. Okay. So Saladi Uyuni is something that you need to know. So therefore, you can use 50-50 here. Okay. B or C पे और कुछ logic नहीं है in my opinion. The answer is C, but even if you went with, sorry, the answer is B, but even if you went with C, it's okay. Okay. Delhi we know, 24 I marked. Okay. We do not experience strong upward winds in the normal conditions because the vertical wind pressure in the atmosphere is much stronger and the latitude may be big. So we do not experience strong upward winds in the atmosphere under normal conditions because the vertical pressure gradient is nearly balanced by an equal and opposite force. I'm very weak in geography. Maybe when I add the word because here, it seems a bit logical to me. I'll go with A. Okay. See, let me tell you, I never skip questions because I know that whenever I attempt 4 questions, at least one of them will be correct. So even if 3 is incorrect, there is no positive net loss or net gain. So that's why I always attempt the questions, even if I don't know anything. Randomly, even if you attempt 4 questions, one of them will be correct, right? Because the probability for a question to be right is 25%. So randomly, even if you attempt 4 questions, one of them will be right, 3 will be wrong. So there is no net loss or net addition. So I don't like leaving the questions. So I always attempt that. But I want to advise you, if you're not able to eliminate one of the options, you can definitely ignore the question if you want. Okay. Now, how many of the above are the highest points of their respective mountain ranges? Anamudi, I know, it's Western Ghats. Gurushikhar, I know, it's Aravallis. Kanchenjunga, it's basically Himalayas. Himalayas, already the Mount Everest is there. So Kanchenjunga won't come. Now, what is the logic here? Is Dhupgarh an option that you're supposed to know, everyone? Should you know about Dhupgarh? What do you think? ABC, Argentina, Brazil, Chile. Okay. No, Shweta is saying no. So what should you do? Dhupgarh is an option that you are not supposed to know. So therefore, should you take it positively or negatively? Tell me, should you take it positively or negatively? Good. So definitely you should take it as positive. Okay. So Dhupgarh is not a very famous option, especially for the people in South India. Maybe North Indians living in Maharashtra and all. Sorry, Madhya Pradesh and all know this. But Dhupgarh is not a very famous option. It's not given in the NCERT. So the first and the basic logic is, am I supposed to know this? No. So what does UPSC counter? UPSC counters that option that UPSC expect me to know. Kanchenjunga is not the highest range. Kanchenjunga is not the highest peak. That is something that you are supposed to know. So if a Kanchenjunga is that option that UPSC will eliminate, right? Dhupgarh is not supposed you're not supposed to know. So therefore take it as positive. So therefore only 3 will be the answer. The same logic should be applied here as well. Triveni Sangamam. Now do you think UPSC will eliminate Muvattivuzha, Bhagamandala and Kuduthurai? Have you ever heard of Kuduthurai? Have you ever heard of Bhagamandala? Have you ever heard of Muvattivuzha? No. So therefore UPSC will never eliminate the same, right? So the answer will definitely be only 3 or all 4. Devaprayag is something that you are supposed to know, right? So therefore UPSC can counter the same. Can counter. It doesn't mean that UPSC will always counter. Can counter the same. But Devaprayag, we know that it's basically Alagananda and Bhagirathi, right? It meets at Devaprayag and Ganga is formed. So it's a Dweni, it's not a Triveni. So therefore, Devaprayag is something that you are supposed to know. So therefore, UPSC may eliminate that. So it's better to go with only 3. Okay. 28 I will mark. 29 I will mark. Okay, 30. How many of the above shares Moda with more than 3 states? More than 3. So you should have a mind map in your mind. Always remember, don't think randomly. Whenever map pe question comes, there is no political, social, economic, aisa kuch nahi hai. You think with respect to left, right, east, west, north and south. So Gujarat pe west pe kya hai? Kuch bhi nahi hai. North pe we have Rajasthan. South pe we have Maharashtra. And you also know that Madhya Pradesh is also there because Narmada flows from Madhya Pradesh to Gujarat. Goa hai, Goa nahi hai. Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. Goa nahi hai, kuch bhi nahi hai. So it's only 3. Arunachal we know that north pe pura China hai, east pe pura Myanmar hai. South pe we have Assam is there and we have Nagaland can also be there. Manipur, Mizoram, Nagaland, Assam. Or ye side pe we have Bhutan. Okay, so 3 won't be there. Bihar pe, okay, Bihar is here. Upar pe we have Nepal. Side pe we have UP. Niche we have Jharkhand. This side we have West Bengal. Madhya Pradesh is there? No. Sikkim is there? No. Siliguri corridor is there. Nepal, UP, Jharkhand, West Bengal. No. 3 states. Punjab is here. Left pe Pakistan. नीचे राजस्थान, ऊपर जम्मू एंड कश्मीर, राइट पे हरियाणा. हिमाचल कनेक्शन इज देयर? नो. दिल्ली डायरेक्टली कनेक्टेड है? नहीं, हरियाणा है. J&K, okay, Punjab भी नहीं है. So therefore none of the above. So always think with respect, don't randomly think left, right, east, west. ठीक है. Revenue expenditures 2 lakh, 23 lakh. Interest payment on government debt. So government debt on interest payments is already included in revenue expenditure. So we don't have to calculate it further. It's already included there. So basically what is effective revenue deficit? It's basically the revenue expenditure minus revenue deficit minus what you have to do? You have to subtract all those loans given for capital expenditure, right? So 23 lakh minus this one. Sorry, you have to again minus 40,000. Sorry, you have to add 40,000, right? Plus excluding the loans. So 23 lakh minus 20 lakh plus 40,000. So it will be 2,60,000. Yes. Trade surplus, USA is there. Switzerland will never be there. European Union pay, Switzerland is a part of European Union. Germany, France. See, these are mostly factual questions, okay? I mean, UAE as well. UAE pay, we import a lot of oil, but we are exporting a lot of spices, fruits and everything. UAE is a small state. A lot of Malayalis are there. We are exporting a lot of things. Oil, but we are importing. European Union पे अभी इतना ही सोचना है, ठीक है. नाउ यू टेक ए डिसीजन बिकॉज यू नो दैट अभी कुछ लॉजिक और कुछ भी नहीं आ रहा है. यू हैव टू टेक ए डिसीजन. सो आई मीन it was hard question, but since you have eliminated one of the options, you have to take the decision, ठीक है. I mean the answer, as you know, it's 1 and 3. UAE नहीं है, but लेकिन you have to take the decision here. Okay. Deficit financing, we already got the answer. It's 2. Now co-lending framework pay. Under the largest regulatory directions, co-lending arrangements between banks are strictly restricted to private lending only. So it's saying that under the latest regulatory directions, co-lending arrangements between banks and NBFCs are strictly restricted to. Now, will the new arrangements, will it be restricting or will it be providing to other things as well? So the co-lending arrangement means different banks are coming together and then they are co-lending together. Strictly restricted to NBFCs only. Strictly restricted is an extreme word. Only is an extreme word. If I don't know anything, I'll be making it incorrect. Under the RBI's original co-lending model, NBFCs are permitted to co-lending with special. So it's saying that under the RBI's original co-lending model, so under the original sense, NBFCs are permitted to co-lend with banks specifically for the private sector. Okay, so it's saying that original pay, NBFCs are permitted to co-lend with the banks. Private sector ही सकता है. पहले private sector था. और अभी क्या बोल रहे हैं? Under the latest regulatory instructions, directives, co-lending arrangements between banks are strictly. So पहले भी specifically हम private sector के लिए दे रहा था. अभी भी private sector के लिए दे रहा है. So I guess Abhi maybe it can be lended to other different things, right? So when it will always get broadened, right? It will never get reduced to specific sectors. So pehle only to specific sectors tha. Abhi I guess it will be I guess it will be broader abhi. So and also only is there, strictly is there. I don't think so. These are very extreme words. So I'll go with are correct. So I'll go with only 2. Okay. Because RBI will loosen the stance. It can lend to more sectors. We will not be restricting itself to private sector lendings. Pehle it was restricted to private sector lendings. Abhi it will be broadening it, right? So this okay. Now here, increasing competition, decreasing. How many of the above correct? Okay, you got the answer. Only 3. Competition will definitely reduce the price. Automatic stabilizers contribute to counter-cyclical fiscal behavior through which of the following mechanisms? increasing tax revenue. So what does automatic stabilizers means? The government does not have to intervene. Automatically it will get stabilized. So automatically क्या हो रहा है? Increasing tax revenue organically. Organically means automatically during economic upswings without necessitating amendments. So without necessitating amendments is basically automatically, right? So here necessarily amendments and organically definitely clarify the same. So it's both automatic. Pushing taxpayers into higher tax brackets during inflationary growth effectively restrains aggregate demand. Pushing taxpayers into higher tax brackets. This I'm not sure. Pushing taxpayers into higher tax brackets during inflationary growth effectively restrains aggregate demand. Pushing taxpayers into higher tax brackets during inflation effectively restrains aggregate demand. You can use 50-50 here. Okay. So here the answer will either be 1 only or both 1 and 2. You can use 50-50 here. But the answer was C. Pushing taxpayers into higher tax brackets during inflationary period effectively restrains aggregate. Pushing taxpayers. Pushing matlab, do they automatically go into higher tax brackets during inflationary period? So what happens here? What does it mean? Let's say for example, Abhi, I am earning 9 lakh per month. 9 lakh in a year. So in an inflationary period, my salary is increased, right? Government is spending more currency. So all the government servants are getting paid more. So I am pushed to a higher tax bracket. So my income has increased and therefore I am into a new tax bracket. Okay, fine. It automatically pushes a person. Okay, so then both 1 and 2 will be the answer. Pushing taxpayers into higher tax bracket. That means they are earning more. So therefore they are getting pushed into the higher tax bracket. The government is not reducing anything, but they are getting pushed. Okay, C will be the answer. The majority of the people have a good amount of disposable income, higher amount of goods. Okay, fine. How many of the above are incorrect? Incorrect on C. So combination 1 signifies inflation. So majority of the people has a good amount of disposable income. That means that everyone has money. It is inflation. High level of production of goods without completely meeting up the demand. So production of goods is very high, but without completely meeting. So that means that the demand is here. Supply is very high, but the supply is only here. Fir bhi demand is here. So high level of supply is there, but they are not completely meeting up the demand. So demand is more than supply. So therefore, if the demand is more than supply, then the inflation will be there. So 1 is correct. So it's not incorrect. Combination of 2 and signifies high economic disparity. Only very few people has good amount of disposable income. This is economic inequality. 2 can also signify economic disparity. Okay. Combination of 3 and T3 can stimulate economic recession in the future. So overproduction of good industries. Okay, overproduction. So what happens during the Great Depression as now? There was a lot of supply, but there was no demand. That's how the Great Depression happens. So supply is there, demand is not there. So it will lead to economic recession. Combination of 1 and 4 signifies the worst situation. Worst situation case ho sakta hai. Majority of the people has good disposable income. That's a good thing. Overproduction of goods in the industry anticipated due to a boom. This is a bad thing, but 1 is good. So basically, 3 and 4 basically signifies the worst situation. It's not 1 and 4. So therefore, D is incorrect. You can mark. Okay, now here, which one of the following best describes the primary objective of securities market code recently introduced in Lok Sabha? Establishing a dedicated regulatory sandbox framework out of decentralized assets. Securities market code. So what am I looking for? Primary objective है securities market code. Code matlab in the securities market. So it will be regulating something or it will be grouping something. Establishing a regulatory sandbox framework for decentralized finance. I don't know. Mandating the transition of all listed companies into international all listed companies. I don't think so. Integrating and replacing the multi-layered statutory frameworks governing India's capital. So code. So what does code mean? Let's say for example labor code. So India, what does code mean? India has significant number of labor laws. Now we actually restricted it to 4 different labor codes. So both codes are basically always integrating a whole set of laws into specific codes, right? Labor code. इतने सारे labor code है हमारे इंडिया पे. It all got segregated into code of social security, code of this, code of that, code of this. So codes are usually integrating and replacing multi-layered statutory frameworks, right? That's basically a code means. Expanding the jurisdiction of SEBI or unlisted private companies? I don't think so. What it has to refer to a code. Code is basically integration of always. So therefore, even if you don't know anything, go with C because code signifies integration. Okay. Okay. Advance authorization scheme. Punjab has more than 3. What are the states? Okay. Advance authorization scheme. So here always statement will be 1, correct? The advance authorization scheme is a vital export promotion tool for India. So it's a vital. So our 1% logic will not apply. The reason has to be the main reason why it's a vital export promotion tool. Okay, so when you add the because here, you cannot use a 1% logic here. It has to be the most vital tool. It functions as a direct cash subsidy program where the government offsets. Functions as a direct cash subsidy? No. Advance authorization scheme is not a direct cash subsidy like PM Asha, Pradhan Mantri, LPG scheme or something. Cash subsidy nahi hai. It provides direct capital subsidies to finished goods irrespective of the value addition. Irrespective of the value addition? कुछ ना कुछ value addition होगा, right? Let's say for example the PLI scheme. A person gets a benefit on the 2% incremental additional production that he or she makes. The company makes. The irrespective of value addition, I don't think so. So therefore here D can be the answer. 41 I marked, 42 we marked. 43. A rise in market interest rates leads to capital loss. So why does it lead to capital loss? Because bonds price and bond yield share an inverse relation to ensure that, okay fine, this is correct. So why does a rise in market interest rates lead to capital loss for investors during long-term fixed bonds? Because when markets yield rise, the fixed coupon bonds and excess. I mean, these are basically, these are basically conceptual topics. I mean, there is no logic in the same. You just have to add the word because and just make sure that is there a direct relation between the same. ऐसा सिर्फ ऐसे ही करना है और इधर और कुछ logic नहीं चलेगा, ठीक है? So here also the answer is A. Without any intervention, okay. Increase the repo rate to make Indian assets more attractive to foreign investors. Does it increase the repo rate to make more investors? So when they increase the interest rate, then India pay the interest rate will increase. So when the interest rate increases, so it will be more than the FedEx rate. So when our interest rate is 8% and the FedEx is like 3%, then more companies will come to India. So therefore, when the more FPI comes into India, then the rupee demand will increase. Yes. So therefore, increase in repo rate will be there. So therefore, B is the answer. So what I'm saying is you don't have to read about statement 3 once again because we are already left with 1 and 2 only. Okay. Now this one we already got. India meets entirely nahi hoga. Yes, we got. So nitrogen, ammonia is also there. Phosphorus is also there. So there is a relation between ammonia, nitrogen, phosphate, phosphorus. Water soluble form, I don't know about the same, but kuch extreme words वगैरह नहीं है. So therefore, I'll be going with only 2. Belém Declaration has been a focal point of 2026. Primarily relates to the Belém. Belém, I know it's in Brazil. So the establishment of a global fund for protection against glaciers. Brazil पे glaciers है. Brazil पे glaciers. No, Brazil does not have any glaciers. The Unified Strategic Framework for Amazonian Nations for the Conservation of Amazon Rainforest. Okay, Amazon Rainforest is there in Belém, Brazil. B can be the answer. And what do you think about statement B here? Is it something very general or very specific? Do you think that UPSC, Jammu and Kashmir is a UT with the state legislature? Okay? Jammu and Kashmir is not a state. That's why Jammu and Kashmir was not the answer. Now what I'm saying is, do you think that in question number 46, do you think option B is more specific here? ऐसे ही option पूछेगा हम. If that was not the answer, do you think that such a very specific option limited to Amazon rainforest will be asked? What do you think, everyone? Do you think it's a very general statement or do you think it's a very specific statement? Let's say if this was not the answer, then we could have provided maybe something such as reducing air pollution, reducing maybe under two by 2030 and 2050, or promoting renewable energy. We would have provided some very general options, right? Do you think if this was not the answer, itna specific option hum puchega regarding to Amazon rainforest, Amazonian nations? No, right? So what I'm saying is, if you don't have any idea, go for first of all, deconstruct the word. Bellum declaration. Bellum, if you know that it's in Brazil, then you can directly relate to Amazon, because Amazon is 60% of Amazon, 70% of Amazon is only in Brazil. So you can directly connect the same. Now, if you don't have that word deconstruction, then try to eliminate by using the most, if there are two identical options here, then you can go for that. If the identical option also don't work, then finally what do? You go for the most specific option. And here, the mandatory phase out of single-use plastics and all is something that we can make such an option. The regulation of deep sea mining, Brazil, deep sea mining, okay, fine, maybe it can come. But Amazon rainforest, it's limited to a particular forest, it's limited to a particular group of countries. So the spectrum there is very less. So why would we provide such an option if this was not the answer? We could have then provided a very general option, right? SI is option, okay? So whenever in confusion, go with the most specific option. Here, B is the most specific option. Which of the following protected areas are located in the tri-junction? Namdapa of 3 states. Now we know that Arunachal Pradesh does not have border with 3 states, right? So Namdapa is in Arunachal Pradesh, so 3 won't come. Chambal river flows through Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and then it flows through UP, and then it's a tributary of Yamuna. So Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and UP. Chambal. But is the sanctuary under the tri-junction? This is something that you need to know. There is no logic here. Chambal is under the tri-junction. Okay? 50-50 use kar sakta hai. Mudumalai, I guess it was a big option. But if you're someone in North India, then Chambal would have been easier for you. If you're in the South, then Mudumalai would have been easier for you. Okay? The Ceres thinning proposes injecting ice-forming nuclei like bismuth trioxide into high-altitude cirrus clouds to reduce the heat-trapping effect. So it proposes, why does it reduce the heat? Proposes injecting ice-forming nuclei because, so why does it reduce the trap-trapping effect? That is the cause here. So why does it reduce the heat trapping effect? Because natural cirrus clouds with numerous small ice crystals trap long wave terrestrial radiation more effectively than those with fewer longer ice crystals. So is it the reason that they are reducing trap trapping effect? Maybe, but when you add the word because here, you are finding it as a statement and a reason for the same. So because it feels like a reason, because it feels like an explanation, usually that's what I do. Okay? Even if I don't know the content, but when I read the same, does it feel that, okay, fine, this is a reason for the same? Then you go with statement A. Okay. Therefore, I'll be going with statement number A. Because I'm very weak in climatology, I don't know the factual of the same. But when you read the same, does it feel like the reason? When you add the word the because, are you able to have a connection between them? Even if like 10%, 20% connection is there, then you go for A. Okay. Is pay. Now, let me tell you that most of you would have gone with praying mantis here. Now, what would you have grown with praying mantis here? For the fact that you might feel that, okay, fine, why did we provide praying mantis as an option here if this was not the answer? Right? Some of you must have thought that. Now, that is a good thought. But always remember, whenever any species-based question comes, the first and the foremost thing that you have to think is that whether they are vegetarians or non-vegetarians. The particular species, are they vegetarians or non-vegetarians? The other thing is, are they social or solitary? This is one thought you should always keep in mind. Are they solitary? Are they social? Because when you read about this particular species, the certain insect species exhibit a sophisticated form of inverse husbandry by transmuting smaller sucking insects to a nutrient plant of salt. They do this to protect and milk their insects for a sugar dense. Do you feel that it's more of a solitary species or of a social species? What do you think, everyone? It's definitely a social species, right? It's more of a social species. So which among the following is a social species here? Praying mantis, is it social? Ladybugs is social. Ants is social. Dragonflies. Now dragonflies is not social here. You can eliminate that. Dragonflies, animal insect husbandry and all. By transporting smaller sucking insects. Who can do this? They are transporting smaller sap-sucking insects and all. Mostly all these sophisticated activities are usually done by the honeybees or by ants. Ants are one of the most sophisticated social beings, right? So if you have a confusion, go with ants, okay? Now, if you went with praying mantis because it's something very specific, I don't blame you for that, but always think whether the species are solitary or social. And usually when they show the direction to the food, when they do things in a group manner, go for all these species, okay? Now, depth for swap nature. When you think about the same, what comes to your mind? Depth for swap, depth for nature swap, depth for nature. So for the nature protection, some depth was there. So we are swapping the depth for nature. So a country basically owed another country some amount, but since they are promoting environment, the country may be letting go of the depth. Depth for nature swap. Depth nature के लिए हम swap कर रहे हैं, right? So depth should be there, nature should be there, swapping should be there. A developed country pays a carbon tax to a developing nation in exchange for the right to emit industrial pollutants. Now this is not a good thing, right? A portion of a developing country's debt. So here debt is there, is forgiven in exchange. Exchange matlab swap for local investments in environment. So here what is there? Nature is also there, depth is also there, swapping is also there, right? So this is the way you need to do word deconstruction. First of all, think about the same, have some kind of meaning in your mind, and then you go for that option which has the same meaning or which satisfies all the words. Always remember, it should satisfy all the words, okay? So therefore here B will be the answer. We have already got the answer here. Now this is a very factual question, okay? This is a very factual. I don't remember what was the answer here. Okay, just leave it. Now blue category. Blue category. What does blue mean? Red will mean red and green. Green will be environment, completely environment neutral. Red will be the most polluting, right? ऐसा ही होता है. What will blue mean? The industry is subject to highest level of environmental oversight and stringent regulations. I guess that will be red. The industry is involved in provision of essential services and pollution mitigation. Maybe the industry is primarily engaged in deep sea mining and marine resource extraction. Now, what does the category mean? Blue. You have blue, red, green. What does it mean? It's based on the pollution. It's based on the amount of pollution that they release mostly. So green will be less polluting industries, red will be the most polluting industries. So blue can be maybe medium polluting industries or something like that. That's the category on the basis of color. But here kuch color nahi hai. The industry has achieved net zero. I guess it will be green, not blue. So highest level can be red. This can be green. Essential environment services and pollution, I am not sure. Deep sea marine resource, it can be blue because marine is there. Let me tell you, in this question, even if you went with the option B here, C here, that's also very good logic. For the fact that marine and deep sea is usually, let's say for example, blue carbon. What does blue carbon mean? UPSC have asked it before, right? Blue carbon basically means that it's something related to sea and carbon sequestration. So blue category can be deep sea mining and resource extraction as well. Okay. So even if you went with C, that's also a good logic. Don't mind. Okay. How many of you went with C here? Okay. That's also good. No issues. We have done all the same. Okay. Now here, the census is conducted by Ministry of Fisheries and Animal Husbandry and Dairy. So what does it mean? Animal Husbandry and Dairy, are you able to counter the same? Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation? No. So therefore here, one can be correct. It is primarily is an extreme word here, a scientific expedition designed to the total biomass of fishes. Is it possible? Think about the same. India is here, 200 nautical miles is here. Can India do a census in all the 200 nautical miles of these borders and make sure that either close to 1 million tons of fishes are there. Do you think that's possible? And second, it's saying that the census is conducted manually using paper enumeration to ensure remote coastal villages. So here it's saying that it's in the exclusive economic zone, 200 nautical miles. Here it's saying that it's done under the coastal villages and manually. And do you think हम manually करेगा? Yes sir. Manually कैसे करेगा? 200 nautical miles हम manually कैसे करेंगे? And even the census that is going to come, it's a digital census, right? So abhi in this 21st century with all the technologies, do you think hum manually karega? Manually, definitely we will never do it, right? So 3 will never be there. So it's correct. So 3 will never be there. It's primarily and exclusive economic zone 200 miles and all. I don't think so. First pay, I'm not able to counter the same. National Marine Census, marine matlab fishery of Ministry of Fisheries is marine. So therefore 1 I will take correct. Okay. 58 we have done. Okay, now here the final authority to recognize and de-recognize is to respect the State Wildlife Board. Now try to counter the same. If not the State Wildlife Board, now first of all it comes under the concurrent list. It's not coming under the state list now, it comes under the concurrent list. Now do you think if not the State Wildlife Board, then who will come? The National Wildlife Board can come. Central Zoo Authority can come. Does the state, have you ever heard of State Wildlife Board taking a decision such as this? State Wildlife Board. If not State Wildlife Board, central government can come. National Wildlife Board can come. Central Zoo can come. Countering possibilities are out there. Since it come under the concurrent list, I think it's a 50-50, okay? If you're able to find a better alternative such as Central Zoo Authority, if that comes to your mind, then mostly since it's under the concurrent list, maybe the central government may be deciding. But if it was under the state list, then maybe the state government would have been doing it. Okay. But since it's come under the concurrent list, the central government will also have the same. So it's not Central Zoo Authority and not State Authority of the state. Okay. So therefore, all 3 is the answer here. But even if you went, I mean, it was 50-50 in my opinion. Only 2 and all 3. Okay. Okay. India is the first country in the world to release a taxonomy specified to green. Usually, you should be very careful when UPSC gives such as first country. Okay. But since India recently unveiled the taxonomy of green steel, marking a significant step towards decarbonizing its steel sector. Everyone knows that India is the first country that released the national taxonomy for the first time, right? That's why this is very famous. If India was releasing for the second or the third time or maybe the 10th time, do you think this news is something very important or something? No, then it's not important, right? It's because India released for the first time, then the news became actually relevant. So therefore here, it's the first country. Now try to counter the same. The National Institute of Secondary Steel Technology is designated as a nodal agency. And try to counter the same. If not the National Institute for Secondary Steel Technology, any other? It can be the Ministry of Steel. Are you able to counter this and say that no, it's not the National Institute for Secondary Steel, it's this particular institute, it's Reserve Bank of India. Are you able to counter the same? No, you're not able to counter the same, right? So therefore you take it positive. The green steel is classified into 3 different star categories based on emission. Are you able to counter this? No, it's not classified into 3 categories, it's classified into 5 categories. Or it's not 3, it's only 2. Are you able to counter the same? If you're able to counter by using facts, there is no extreme word here. If it was only classified into only 3 categories, then we can say that, okay, fine, an extreme word is there only. But here, not even an extreme word is there, saying that 3 categories. So therefore, we can take it positive, right? Since we are not able to make it positive, and only 3 statements are there. If 4 statements were there, we could have made 1 incorrect, but only 3 statements are there. I'll be taking 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Most satellites, I'll just take the logical questions, Abhi. This is a factual question, 62. Okay, now how do we counter this one? The black box problem. The black box problem, significant challenge frequently discussed in the structural evolution of artificial intelligence and deep learning, primarily refers to the black box problem. So it's some kind of problem and is related to the structural evolution, some kind of evolution of AI. So the AI is basically evolving. AI is evolving and deep learning is also evolving. So what is the issue here? What happens when evolution happens? It's basically the inability of the humans to understand the internal logic and decision making of complex AI. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, black box, we are not able to find a direct relation here. This is a problem. This is happening due to the evolution. So both the evolution and problem is there. The failure of AI systems to store data securely when they are disconnected from internet. Now this is a problem, but I don't think it's a problem coming out of evolution, right? When it basically evolves, that will also evolve. But what happens when they evolve? It's basically the inability of the humans to understand the internal logic and decision making, right? That's the issue. That's what all of us fear. When will the AI take over the world, right? So this will not be there. The loss of data quality when AI transitions from being trained by humans to learning. The loss of data quality when the AI transitions. Is there an evolution here? I don't think there is any evolution here. The slow processing speed of AI prevents it from, no, this is also not evolution. So what are the words we are looking for? We are looking for some kind of problem here, and we are looking for discussing evolution of AI. Now, when the AI evolutions, what is the problem here? It's basically the inability of the humans to understand how the AI is thinking. That is the basic problem here, right? So therefore, I will go with A as the answer, because the word problem is also there, evolution is also there. Okay. Now see what basically happened here. In the first round, I was actually thinking with respect to the question, but in the second round, we actually, started taking the discussion as a conventional form of discussion regarding the logics and everything. So that's why the whole time management, it got basically, the second part of the session basically defeated what the session is about. Okay. But फिर भी let me tell you, this is how I'll think. ठीक है? LiDAR, radar, sonar, everything is ranging, everything is navigation and detecting. So are you able to group something here? Whenever some technology happens, what do? We go for grouping, right? Let's say, for example, there was a question with respect to in how many of the above do we use hydrofluorocarbons? So we know that hydrofluorocarbons are basically gaseous in nature. So therefore, some kind of liquid will never be the answer. So are you able to counter something here? Everything is ranging. Everything is basically detection and navigation. Are you able to counter here? Even though the word commonly was used here. Okay, are you able to counter something here? Now let me tell you, if you went with 1 and 2 here, that's also something very good. For the fact that here, if you actually look into the same, LiDAR and radar is very common for the fact that ranging, detection is there. Sonar is basically sound navigation. So it's some kind of sound navigation. It's not detection. And UPSC have introduced the word commonly. So since the word commonly comes, maybe one of the options can be incorrect. So therefore, even if you went with 1 and 2, that's also a very good logic here. But let me tell you, navigation and detection is almost the same. Ranging is also similar. So since all the options are similar, we are not able to group the same. Now, LiDAR and radar, it has more relation. And UPSC have introduced the word commonly, that's what I'm saying. If it was actual UPSC paper, then I would have gone with 1 and 2 only. For the fact that commonly is also there, 1 and 2 is something that I can group together. So always do grouping with respect to all these questions. Okay. Now the SDN and SDN categories are characterized as absence of alien. Maybe. I don't know. Under the Environment Protection Act, SDN 3. Okay. So SDN 1 and SDN 2 pe alien nahi hai. Statement 3 is saying that under SDN 3, crops are treated as genetically modified, requires full biosafety clearance. Are treated as genetically modified crops and requires full biosafety clearance. Full biosafety clearance, obviously. So if it's treated as genetically modified crops, then it requires full biosafety clearance. Okay, fine. The genetic appraising body is the primary. Okay, primary is an extreme word here, but are you able to relate to genetic engineering appraisal committee and the environmental release of these addicted seeds? This is something that we know, right? Because the genetic engineering appraisal committee, the GAC, is the highest body which decides whether you should be releasing, let's say for example, golden rice, BT cotton, BT brinjal and everything. So therefore, even if the word primarily is given here, it does not make it very extreme, because we are able to find a relation between genetic engineering appraisal committee and the environmental release of edited seeds. Now, how does UPSC usually do it? UPSC usually do it in a manner that, when does UPSC introduce the word primarily, mainly and make it incorrect? When the content, the genetic engineering appraisal committee, and then the facts given in the statement, for example, responsible for the environment release, they do not have any relation between them. And then UPSC introduces the word primarily. Then you can make it incorrect. But here, relation hey. So therefore here, all three will be the answer. This was something very factual. Okay. Do know that, okay, India, in almost all the cases, tries to achieve things before the WTO target. Okay, that's the basic logic that you need to know. Almost all the things. AIDS, I guess it's 90. In almost all the cases, India tries to achieve the WTO target before the WTO target. Okay. So everything will be there. Okay. It was a bit hard, I would say. Now, what do you do here? This is how I think. How many of the above were directly deducted? Now, why do you think the word directly is given here? Do you think all the above will be the answer here? Are you able to group something here? Neutrinos, if neutrinos are there, gravitational waves will be there. If Higgs boson is there, dark matter will be there. ऐसे कुछ grouping possible है इधर? Is it complementary, contradictory of something? What do you need to do? If UPSC introduces certain extreme words directly, commonly, even in this question as well. That's why I said I would have gone with 1 and 2 only, because UPSC have introduced the word commonly here. Maybe to eliminate one of the option, but here we can group at least everything. Ranging is there, detection, navigation is also there. So therefore, it's almost similar technologies. But here, directly is there. Everything is very different. You need to know about neutrinos, gravitational waves, Higgs boson. But dark matter has not been directly detected by observatories, and then the word directly has been given, and the word this has been given. Why do you think as of 2026 is given? Why do you think the word 2026 is given? Why do you think the word as of January 2026 will be given? Let's say, for example, this is how UPSC eliminates a statement. Okay? So let's say, for example, UPSC put this question in April 2026. And the dark matter is basically found in May 24th or May 23rd on that particular day. So what will be the answer to this question? Some of the students may have read the newspaper on that particular day on May 24th. Some of the students may not have read, right? So just to be on the safer side, UPSC introduces the words as of January 2026. So just make sure that one of them is incorrect. And UPSC just want to ensure that one of them is incorrect. As of January 2026, UPSC knows that this has not been found. Right. So that's why UPSC will introduce something to make the spectrum very less. We cannot use our 1% logic there. So if everything was directly found, then what is the need of introducing the word January 2026? UPSC could just say that how many of the above has been directly detected by observations, right? Observations or laboratories in the world, if everything is detected. Why do you think a specific date is given? It's because UPSC knows that as of this date, it has not been detected. UPSC don't know that in the coming months it will be detected, but as of 2026, this has not been detected. So UPSC is playing it safe by introducing some dates. So do also make sure whenever the dates are introduced, the spectrum becomes very less. Okay. 69. Yeah, so here, nano catalyst significantly increases the efficiency. So why does it significantly increase the efficiency of petrol? Because Nanocatalyst functions by providing exponentially larger surface area for chemical. Yes. Why does it significantly increase the efficiency? Because nanoparticles are primarily used to increase the formation of coke. Now, what do you think? Whenever the word coke, whenever the carbon residue is more, do you think efficiency will increase or decrease? Nanocatalysts are primarily used to increase the formation. Will it be to increase the formation of carbon residue, or it will be to decrease the formation of carbon residue? Whenever carbon comes more, we see polluting vehicles, right? And we see carbon releasing more. So it's basically a negative thing, right? So basic purpose of nanocatalyst should be to reduce the amount of formation of coke, right? So it's not increasing, it should be reducing. So therefore, 3 will be incorrect. When you add the word because here, okay, why does it significantly increase the efficiency? Because it function by providing an exponentially larger surface area, maybe. So therefore, go with C. When you add the word because here, if it makes sense, then you go with C here. Okay. Okay. Which of the following best reflects why the smooth metal potentials are generally unsuitable? Why are they generally unsuitable? Because they reflect the microwave radiation, preventing the food and poisoning. Okay, that's fine. They act as insulators, absorbing all magnetic energy. Nahi aayega. This is something that you need to know. Okay? A will be the answer. बाकी सब कुछ है ना, हमने किया है अभी. This was very hard. So Kakori is close to like 1925-26. Chappeka Pradesh was close to like 1898 or something. This was very close. I mean, 2 and 4, if you know, B and C, if you have reached, then your logic is very good. But among B and 4, it's very hard. I guess Nasik is in 1908 and Alipur was in 1909. 1909 or something. So there was only a significant month difference or date difference. UPSC itna nahi puchega. At least there will be a difference between 2 years or 1 year, 2 years or 3 years. But this was very close. Okay? If you reach B and C, then your content is very good. Official log of Niti Aayog. Now what do you do here? Are there very big statements or something? Bada wala statements aisa kuch hai? No. Official log of Niti Aayog, you have to remember the same official log of Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog is an executive body. Executive body can implement dharma. Judiciary can implement dharma. Legislature can implement dharma. If it has an Indian emblem, then it will have the Ashoka Dharma, right? Dharma Chakra, right? So does Niti Aayog has the Indian emblem? Yes, Niti Aayog has the Indian emblem, right? So therefore, official log of Niti Aayog also has the same. This was very hard, but the regions you need to know, okay? Especially the Middle East and all, you definitely need to know. So when you actually travel the same, you can directly move to Jordan and then you can move to Saudi Arabia. So Israel, Jordan, Saudi Arabia and UAE. So here, what is the minimum number of countries that they must cross? The traveler intentions to travel from Israel to Saudi Arabia via the most directly, excluding the starting and the destination. So Israel nahi hai, UAE nahi hai. So it's just Jordan and Saudi Arabia. So only 2. So what I'm saying is, especially regarding the Middle East, have a complete idea regarding the countries, regarding the bordering countries, everything. Because Middle East is the point of contention for this particular year due to the Iran crisis, due to the Israel-Palestine war, Gaza war, anything UPSC can ask. So have a complete understanding regarding the mapping of this one. Okay. This was a bit hard in my opinion. India has recently constituted Energy Storage Task Force and Low Emission Task Force. Usually, the United States and all is not concerned, especially Donald Trump and all is not concerned with low emission gas task force. Trump is not concerned about low emission or so. If Russia, energy storage and low emission can be there, Japan can also be there. If you went with Japan as well, it's a good logic because Japan is concerned with reducing low emission. Japan does not have energy, so Japan is also storing energy for the long term use. So if you went with Japan also, it's a good logic. USA, Trump is not concerned with low energy and all, so maybe if you have eliminated B, then also it's good. Okay, it's more of a current affairs thing. You cannot do anything here. In case of this question, let me tell you, Tunisia will not be there. Libya will not be there. Always remember, think about, this is how I used to study the 4 northernmost countries of Africa. Mali का मतलब क्या है? Morocco, Algeria, Libya and Ethiopia. Not Ethiopia, Egypt. Okay. Yeah, these are I guess A is Algeria, right? Actually, my phone got switched off, so I won't be able to see the chat that you're commenting. Yeah, I guess Mali only. I remember something like that. I prepared Morocco, Algeria, Libya, Egypt. These are the four northernmost countries. Sudan, Libya won't be coming. Yeah, Libya won't be coming. I mean, let's say, for example, if you went with a pattern here, let's say, for example, here 6 options are there, right? If you went with a pattern here 4, then it's also good. So, for example, you know that Libya is not there. Now, all 6 won't be there. If you're confused between Tunisia, if Tunisia is not there, if Central Asian Republic is not there, it's okay. Okay. But do remember, Sudan is one of the most important areas. We have already provided the same in the revision notes as well. So you need to know this. Okay. So ISPE only 5 was the answer, but even if you went with only 4, that's also very good because you went with a pattern. Okay. In case of always confusion between only 5 and only 4, go with the pattern only. Okay. So Paramveer Chakra may be awarded posthumously. Yes. Ashok Chakra, highest. Yes. Kirti Chakra can be awarded posthumously. Okay. So only 2 will be the answer. This and all you need to know, okay? That's what I told you. All the Padma Awards, Bharat Ratna, all the Gallantry Awards, and the Literature Awards, Jnanapida, you need to learn. Okay. So here, Prime Minister, after Prime Minister, for the former President will be coming, and then Deputy Prime Minister will be coming, then CGI will be coming. Okay? So it will be 1, 3, 2, 4. इस पे कुछ लॉजिक नहीं है. Prime Minister will be coming first. Deputy Prime Minister just have a cabinet minister role. So definitely the former president will be more important than the Deputy Prime Minister. So 1, 3, 2, 4 will be the answer. Okay. Now इस पे है ना खेलो इंडिया गेम्स पे the event was hosted by Chhattisgarh and the mascot was Morveer. Now should you take this as a multiple fact? 2 facts are here. 1 location is also given. 1 mascot is also given. Should you take it as a multiple fact? No, in my opinion, for the fact that if it was 2 locations, then you could have taken it as a multiple fact. इस पे सिर्फ 1 location है और 1 more fact है. लेकिन our multiple facts say that only with respect to departments, location and ministries, you should be taking this as a multiple fact. Okay? So you should not be taking this as multiple fact. And what do you think about Kerala? Why do you think we asked Kerala here? Kerala was asked because I'm from Kerala, right? Kerala has very less tribal population. Okay? Kerala has only 1.2% of tribal population. In the whole of India, it's close to 8.6. So in the tribal India games, I don't think Kerala will be there because we have very less tribal population. So it will mostly be Odisha has a lot of tribal population, Madhya Pradesh has a lot of tribal population. So Kerala will never be there. Okay? The answer was Karnataka, but Kerala will never be there. The games only featured indigenous domestic scope and excluding standard disciplines. Now, what do you think? Running will not be there. 100-meter race, 200-meter race, long jump will not be there. Even if it's a tribal games, do you think that? What is the purpose of these games? The purpose of these games is also to find people among the tribes, scheduled tribes, who can be potential candidates for medals in the Olympics, right? It's basically to find out the talents. And do you think that only indigenous games will be played, such as Malcolm, Kabaddi, Kalaripayattu, and everything? Does all the people out there, all the tribal people out there, play Malcolm, Kabaddi, and all these games? No, they will be running, they will be throwing javelin, all these things will be there, right? But Malcolm, Kabaddi, and everything will not be played by all the tribal people out there. So definitely it will not be there, right? We are basically scouting for potential candidates. That's why all these Kalo India games and Kalo India tribal games are given. So definitely 100-meter race will be there. So therefore 3 will never be there. So therefore only 1 will be the answer here. Ispena, what do you think about the third statement? Under the new rules, the president or the secretary of National Sports Federation is eligible for unlimited consecutive terms. Why was this introduced? Because the Wrestling Federation of India, that person who is a rapist, uska naam kya tha? That guy. Because that guy was holding the post for consecutive terms. Even for the BCCI and all the other sporting federations, the same person holds the post like it's their family property or like hereditary thing or something like that, right? So that's why the terms was restricted to 2 or 3. So do you think unlimited terms will be provided? Definitely no, right? So obviously 3 will be incorrect. It's a very extreme statement. So if 3 is incorrect, then 1 only will be the answer. And 100, you need to know. At least that you need to know, and we have provided the same in the in our revision document as well. Okay. So I'm not able to see what you're given here because my phone has switched off. But what I want to say is, do test all the different methods, all the time managements, all the rounds in the upcoming FLTs. Okay? So our next FLT will be on Sunday. So you can try a different method and always make sure that you take the paper, print out and do it. Never do it on the portal, because when you do it on the portal, you will never understand anything. How's your time management, how's your everything. So try to do in different rounds in the coming FLTs and make sure you have finalized the same by the 10th or the 11th FLT that you're doing. And the same time management strategy you can follow for maybe 5 to 6 FLTs as well. And also do plan for contingencies. Let's say, for example, if your time management even exceeds by maybe 10 to 15 minutes, do make sure that you don't have a third round and you attempt all the things in the second round only. So these are some of the things why doing FLTs is very important. Okay, it's more about time management rounds and rather than about learning new content. I mean, the subject wise you will get history पे आपको 10, modern history पे सिर्फ 9 क्वेश्चन पे सिर्फ 3 ही आपको मिला. That means that modern history की आप weak है. लेकिन modern history पे किस topic पे weak है? That you will only understand when you do the sectional test. So do sectional test as well. Either you can follow 2 approaches. One, let's say today, you can take an environmental sectional test. You will understand this particular species or protected areas you're weak in, and then you can focus on that. That's the best approach. Do one at the beginning. You will understand the weaker areas, and then you study that. Or else you can do it on the third day morning, Saturday morning you have to do. You will understand, okay, fine, these are all the weaker areas I'm lacking, and you can complete all the weaker areas by the third day from morning to night as well. Thank you everyone.